ask us about our amazing tractor package promotions. Learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
I'm Jim Knipe. I'm a real lawyer in Baton Rouge. I handle injury cases and criminal defense. Respect for my clients comes first. I appreciate their questions, and I appreciate their phone calls. My client's case is the most important thing in their lives, and I do not take that for granted. If you want a lawyer who knows the law and who's centered around client satisfaction, then you want me. I'm Jim Knipe, Knipe. No frills, no gimmicks. Forget the hype. Trust me, Jim Knipe, mgkblaw.com. That's mgkblaw.com.
LA 2315888.
Looking for an exciting career? Guarantee Media is hiring. Go to guaranteemedia.com to see open positions and apply today. Guarantee Media is an equal opportunity employer. Guaranteemedia.com. It's the best of all worlds. Great cigars, great cocktails, and an amazing atmosphere. It's Don Juan Cigar Bar. Located in Town Center, Don Juan is the perfect place to enjoy a great cocktail, beer on tap, a wide selection of scotches and bourbons, and of course, a fine premium cigar. Sit back, relax, let the time fade by. Don Juan Cigar Bar. Great cocktails, great cigars, the good life. Check them out online, donjuancigarbar.com.
Join us for a day on the greens for a great cause at the 9th Annual Chippin' In Golf Tournament benefiting St. Jude's Research Hospital, Saturday, April 22nd at Greystone Country Club. Together, we can make a difference in the fight to eradicate childhood cancer. With every swing, you're supporting St. Jude's mission to save children's lives. And the fun doesn't stop there. Stick around for live music and fun festivities. It's more than a game. It's hope for countless families. For registration and details, contact Greystone Country Club today. Be a part of something bigger. Hey there, Baton Rouge. Michelle Southern here, and I've got something exciting to share with you. Get ready to groove and make a difference at Dancing for Big Buddy 2024. As a dancing alumnus, I can tell you firsthand that Dancing for Big Buddy is an experience like no other. It's not just about dancing. It's about having the time of your life while supporting a fantastic cause in the Big Buddy program. They're making a real difference in our community every single day. So mark your calendars for April 27th and join us at the PMAC for an unforgettable night of dancing, laughter, and making a positive impact. Visit bigbuddyprogram.org to learn more and get involved.
Insurance companies have teams of professionals to fight your claim. If you want to know what your case is really worth, I'm Spencer Callahan. I'd like to help.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
LA filing number 16-7970.
WNXX, Jackson, KNXX, Donaldsonville, and WDGL HD2 Baton Rouge. This hour brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers, LA 21-12681. Offices in Baton Rouge.
Good morning. It's 7 a.m. here on Tuesday, April 16th. Today in Baton Rouge, you can expect mostly sunny skies with a high of 87. In hour one of today's show, we'll preview the Pelicans-Lakers play-in game. We'll talk some LSU baseball, as well as the latest with LSU football. You can follow us on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN and watch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel. Hour number one of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios, starts now. Let we go!
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo.
Yo, what's happening, y'all? Welcome back. OTB. T-Bob Jacob Taylor hanging out with you today. That's right. The crew is back here on this Tuesday, April 16, 2024. It is the day of the play-in, New Orleans, LA. We'll get to it, but let's just be painfully clear. The vibe today is FLA, F the Lakers, and tonight it's time to play some bully ball. But before we get into that, what's up, guys? How we feeling today?
Feeling good. All good. Finally. Starting to feel like spring out there, you know?
I'm not entertaining this.
Right, Alondra?
Yeah, it feels pretty good outside.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. We're finally getting there.
Finally getting there.
Yeah, took a minute, but
yeah,
it did.
Yeah,
took maybe 2 weeks later.
Exactly, a little bit longer than we expected, but
yeah. So it's just spring now, not any incredible 80-degree, beautiful, stunning weather we've had for like the last 3 weeks now. Alondra, how was Texas? How you feeling?
It was great. I feel good. I feel recharged. It's good to see
Okay,
family.
it sounded like you were going to say something after recharge, then you just
Well,
kind of petered out
it was
there.
good to see family and stuff. So
Okay,
yeah,
hell yeah.
some of it was recharging, some of it is
family.
I mean, I'm wondering how I'm going to eat my next meal after that parlay we lost. But
I know.
3 of the legs.
I went 3. Right, I went 3 for 5.
So that is a parlay technique that I like to do. Is I bet all my legs individually.
Yeah.
And then bet the parlay. So if you do have one of those, you're not the person like, oh, I got like 4 out of 5 right. Well, okay, you're still benefiting if you do that.
And
if you bet them all
even I will say we're joking, but even in your losses, those were close fights.
Yeah, and Charles, I feel like that should have been 5 rounds, but I'll talk about it on Bad Corner Advice.
Yeah, it should have been. You're
later.
right. Yeah, I was like, wait, this is 3 rounds?
I don't like 3-round fights. Yeah,
not with somebody like
you
that.
You should have seen me practicing overhead lefts in honor of Max Holloway in the garage last night.
Did you watch it?
No, I just saw the Max Holloway highlights, basically.
Man,
but geez, there's some power behind that thing, dude.
We were given a stream, and you didn't take advantage of that?
Yeah, I gave you
we
the
were
stream.
given a stream?
I put it in the chat.
Oh, I missed
sorry.
it.
Yeah.
No, I would have loved that. I
It's
actually
on,
was
yeah.
like, man, Saturday night I was kind of sitting there like, damn, I wish I had the UFC
I
fights.
gave it to you. Yeah.
Oh, my bad, dude.
Not only did she send the link, underneath the link it said, "Here's the UFC stream."
Yeah, I did say that.
Yeah, look, I don't know, dude.
It was very specific.
It was, and I watched.
I was locked in like the whole day though. The whole card was so good.
Yeah, it seems like it was a big win for the UFC. Bad Corner Advice recording today.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so be on the lookout for Bad Corner
It'll
Advice.
be out later. Yep.
Alondra's UFC pod. Taylor, what's up, dude? How you doing?
Doing good.
Well,
despite my sickness, you told me I tested positive this morning, but it was a little mix-up. We're good to go.
Okay, we're good. Okay, that's excellent to hear.
It wasn't me. It was another guy.
If you were, we would be okay with it.
Yeah, exactly. All right, look, let's get into it, guys. Because on Sunday, you got embarrassed by the Los Angeles Lakers. You got embarrassed once again. And yet, despite the fact that you play 82 games, it comes down to this one. And I could not help but be reminded, of course, as I always am, of Lord of the Rings, right? One game to rule them all. One game to seed them. One game to bring them all, and in the tourney weed them. In the land of the play-in, where the off-season lies. That's right, guys. This is it. Like I said, this is when the Pelicans will determine whether or not this season has been worth it. You played 82 to get to this one. You have years of improvement right now for this franchise, for this team. And yet, despite years, it comes down to 48 minutes to this one. And I want to be painfully clear about this because we were questioning Willie Green yesterday. And that is, I would say, appropriate given some of the lineup choices and at least to the layman, how poorly it looked like those lineup choices worked out in terms of who you played against the Lakers Sunday, yada, yada, yada. But I want to be clear. I love Willie Green. I support Willie Green. This man took over a franchise that had won 30 games, about 32 games, I think, the year when he took over. They've gotten better every single year, including a pretty significant jump this year. I believe Willie Green is the man to lead this franchise until I see something different. I see a team right now that has worked into one of the top defenses in the entire NBA. In fact, the best three-point defending team in the entire NBA, and has made themselves into one of the better shooting teams in the entire league. I look at this Pelicans team right now, and I see the culture and the vision that David Griffin laid out so many years ago when he originally got this job. And culture was at kind of the core of everything that he was talking about. But he was emphasizing, look, this does not happen overnight. You cannot easy bake it. It takes time. It takes consistent, applied, daily habits. Same sort of stuff you hear Brian Kelly and LSU talking about, right? I'm seeing that vision finally now coming to pass. And look, there were missteps along the way. Sure, the early coaching decisions were awful, but eventually, again, you got to Willie Green, and I'm seeing the growth. I'm seeing a vision fulfilled. And yet, despite all of that, for so many, it comes down to this one game, right? I mean, because, look, you can lose this and maybe even lose the next one, and you could still make a technical argument for, oh, no, there's been improvement. Like I said, look, one of the top defensive teams. Look how many games they won. That's an improvement over last year. But nobody's going to want to hear it because getting into the playoffs is all that matters. You fell just painfully short of getting that 6 seed. Screw your Spurs, Alondra. It's absolutely your fault. I hate you. Go back on vacation. But anyway, you fell just short of getting that 6 seed. But you know what, Jake? In the same way that everything's ruined with this one game, it's just a golden ticket game. You want to erase the pain of Sunday? You want to stick it to Anthony Davis? And let's be clear, that's what's craziest about this one game to rule them all. And the man who stands in your way, the men, it's not just the greatest basketball player of all time in LeBron James, but it's a man you used to love, a man you used to go to battle for, that you cried over. And then a man who didn't just break up with you, but spit on you on the way out. And guess what? He still doesn't give a damn about you. You mean nothing to him. And this is your opportunity to teach him that it doesn't matter what he thinks, because you're the big dog now. You know why Anthony Davis is such a good fit in L.A.? Because he's a soft ass. And there's not a softer ass city in the entire country than Los friggin' Angeles. I don't just want to beat L.A., I want to bully L.A., okay? Get physical with them. Set the tone the entire night. I want them to beg you to stop hitting him, and then I want you to hit him again. I want teeth in the knuckles tonight against the Lakers. So let's get it done, dude. Bury them in threes, bury them in D, and win the freaking play-in and make it all worth it. Screw the Lakers, beat LA. That's the mood all day. You bums. Coincidentally, a lot of homelessness out in LA as well. Sorry, I'm pretty pumped for tonight, and I hate the Lakers, and I'm still pissed off about Sunday. And this is the perfect revenge. Like don't approach this game with fear. Oh, what if we lose? We just lost. Oh no, they're better than us. So no, approach this game as opportunity to immediately erase the bitter taste of Sunday. Yeah. Opportunity to get into a full playoff series. Opportunity to take demonstrable steps forward in terms of where the franchise is going overall. This is not a risk. This is a reward. Now go treat it as such and take it.
And do the complete opposite of what you did the last time that you played them. You cannot go small against this team. I think we realized that. I would love to see Valanciunas, as we talked about all day yesterday, be that physical presence. I would love to see the players that are out there on the court be a physical presence. I would love to see Zion be that. And he can be that offensively. It doesn't have to be just on the defensive end. He can use his body, and if the referees allow it, which sometimes they don't, and if he can figure that out early, that would be great, kind of how they're going to officiate Zion. But they cannot roll out the same lineup as far as the amount of minutes that they rolled out there last time they played the Lakers and expect a different outcome. That's just not a great matchup. We went back and we looked at 2 Laker games ago when Valanciunas was your highest-rated player, and he played his normal minutes.
Yep.
And I don't really know why you went away from that, but now you have the film, you have the tape, you can go back, you can watch what did not work for you a couple of days ago, and you can fix that. So the hope is that you roll something different out there, knowing that that lineup that you rolled out there, those 4 games that you won before that included Valanciunas. And I know his minutes have kind of changed throughout the year based on the matchup, but for this matchup, you can go back, you can look at the other games you've played them this year, and it's better when he's in the lineup.
Eric Reynolds says, talking about Willie Green, not significant enough improvement with all the health we've had this year. Thank Herb Jones for the best 3-point defense. Willie Green stands in our way. Okay, so I would say a couple of things. Yes, Herb is great at perimeter defense, but it's not just Herb, right? It's Dyson Daniels when he's been healthy out there. It's Zion Williamson going from a defensive weakness to a defensive force here later in the season because he bought in. And buy-in is an interesting thing because buy-in starts with the coach. And I don't know if I just feel burned by the past, but I remember seeing a young Monty Williams take a young Pelican team led by Anthony Davis and make them better and make the playoffs only to get fired after the improvement because it was thought, oh, well, yeah, he's holding this team back. I don't think that's the case. Like, you have to be incredibly careful if you are going to make a move when you're seeing the consistent improvement you have over the last 3 years, when you're seeing how positive an environment that locker room and everything else seems to be, like outside looking in, you got to be really extra careful if you really think the grass is going to be greener. I don't think it is. And I think Willie Green, again, has done a consistent, and he's not perfect. He's young himself. He's learning. He's getting better. But again, he himself has consistently improved as well. So I would really struggle to disagree more with the notion that Willie Green is somehow holding this franchise back.
Yeah, I would as well. I mean, you've seen Van Gundy and what that looked like. You've seen other coaches. I mean, this is the coach that I feel like is getting the most out of this roster. And this roster has had guys out for different periods of time. I mean, Herb's been out, BI's been out, CJ's been out. Zion for the most part stayed healthy, but a lot of your other stars have been out, and you found ways. You've created lineups that has given you an opportunity to go out there even without an all-star like BI, and you can have these long winning streaks. Again, last game, didn't agree with that lineup, but now you have that tape. You can coach off of that tape. You can make adjustments off that tape, and so Willie Green is not the problem. In fact, I would say that he's doing a really nice job, and you should be excited about the future with him at the helm.
Look at the young players and how quickly and how well they've developed under Green. Whether it is Herb, Trey Murphy, Dyson Daniels, Jose Alvarado, right? Young guys, one and all, drafted. I'm pretty sure one and all in the Willie Green era, right? All those players, if not maybe, the most, maybe 1 year before. But either way, teaching young guys, as a young coach himself, how to make it in this league, the sort of daily professional habits, and teaching them buy-in on both sides of the ball. In an age of offense, yes, learning how to shoot and becoming more of a three-point threat from a percentage standpoint. The Pelicans are one of the better shooting teams in the entirety of the NBA. But again, the defensive buy-in is what I really think should be championed here, because that's hard to do. And that's hard to do, especially with NBA players that have grown up for the most part, being their AAU 40-point all-stars their entire lives, getting them to treat. And look, it took Zion until this year. It took Zion until the middle of this year to finally take some pride, but the message finally got through. And again, I think that's a credit to Green. Speaking of three-point shooting, look, man, it's not. There was going to be a bit of a comeback to earth, right? In the two wins that you had previous Sunday's loss, I think you shot well over 50% in both. In fact, unfortunately, we didn't get to celebrate this because Sunday's loss loomed so large, but I did an illegal stream for the Friday game against the Warriors because it was like impossible to figure out. Living in Baton Rouge was really weird. I couldn't explain exactly what was going on.
Yeah, it's like on the Pelicans online network or something.
Yeah, I don't know, but whatever.
Wasn't even on Bally. You always brag about having Bally. Wasn't even on there.
You're right.
No, it's one of the Fox 8 games. It's supposed to be at a wider audience, but for whatever reason, Baton Rouge kind of got screwed with it. Like it said it was supposed to be on WFB. It wasn't. I don't know. Whatever. The point is, though, I ended up watching, I was watching a legal stream, so I had Golden State announcers. And my God, when I tell you, you want to taste a truly succulent vintage, drink some Warrior announcers' tears as they're crying over the shooting performance of the New Orleans Pelicans. They're like, any team can get hot one night and just shoot this off. It's just impossible to win when the team's making this many threes. But they're like, oh, I'm getting hints of irony. I'm getting a bit of is that a bit of salty aftertaste there as well? Oh, it was so tasty. But that said, look, you've done that a bunch this year. And if you're going to win tonight, obviously, it feels like you're going to have to shoot very well from three, especially maybe to unlock the paint, because Zion struggled to get inside and finish and has not been his hyper-efficient self the last couple of games, in fact.
I don't worry about the Warriors or the Kings because I want to take care of business tonight. If I'm the New Orleans Pelicans, I know that if you win, you match up with the Nuggets, and the Nuggets are the defending NBA champion. And I know the Nuggets are really good, and they have one of the best players in the NBA. I know all of that. But, I don't even want to get to that point where you're worried about the Warriors or the Kings, and so you can match up with OKC because they're a young team, no playoff experience, and you think it's going to be a better matchup. You're not in a position to do that.
Yeah.
You're in a position to go try to win tonight, get into the playoffs, and then figure out the Nuggets.
I agree. Let's be clear. This team's not winning a championship, right?
Right.
So that's fine. And again, some people may say, "Oh, it's not." No, I think that's just an objective reality. So why not test yourself against the best?
Yeah.
Why not test yourself against the defending champs? Learn what it takes to become that champion. Progress is never linear. It happens in phases, and I have seen a linear, consistent, I've seen a consistent rise where when you zoom in, there's been peaks and valleys within, like there always is, but it has been on a consistent upslope. If you make the 7th seed and you play a series against the Nuggets, almost regardless of what happens in the series, so certainly you at least want to try to get 1 or 2, but almost regardless of what happens in the series, that is a furtherance of said climb. So, no, I don't think they're winning a championship. I don't care who they play in round 1. Would I love to win a playoff series? Absolutely. But again, making the playoffs, damn near winning 50 games, having the second best road record in the NBA, these are all things that you can build upon and that you can celebrate only if you get it done and actually make the playoffs. Not the play-in, the playoffs.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I don't like who you're playing and when that is, and all. None of that matters. Getting into this postseason series and then figuring that out. And you're right, like even, and again, like, no, we don't think they're going to win a championship, but even if you get in a series like that, and it felt like they were going to grow a couple of years ago when they played the Suns and they played them tight, and you're looking for that growth because of that series, and I don't feel like they took advantage of that opportunity from what they learned in that series. And so there's lessons that can be learned in a playoff series. Not in the play-in, but in a playoff series. So, yeah, who you play be damned. I don't care about that. Like, get into the playoffs, get into a series. You are a team that has stars. Maybe you can get hot. Maybe you can pull off an upset. But I think just being in a playoff series would be big for this team.
Yeah, and that Suns matchup was 1-8. I mean, this is a better team than that team that took 2 off of the Suns. Yes. To be clear, the Pelicans were a 10 seed. They got hot and managed to win in the play, and it was very impressive, right? But this is a better team. I just hope that they can go out there and prove it tonight. 1 game to rule them all. 1 game to seed them. 1 game to bring them all, and in the tourney weed them. In the land of the play-in, where the offseason lies. All right, when we get back, let's talk some baseball. More OTB coming up next.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
GEAUX, Tommy's.com. That's GoTommy's.com for Tommy's windows, doors, and siding. And probably guessed it using context clues. But if you need windows, doors, or siding, right? We talking vinyl or wood windows. We talking hardy plank or vinyl siding. We talking any type of doors. We talking Tommy's. Like I always tell you every day, if you don't want to just take my word for it because you don't trust me, that's fine. Make Tommy's one of your bids, okay? I mean, I would not lead you astray, but if these Tiger droppings threads are to be believed, many of you don't trust me. We'll get into that. But you should go to Tommy's today for your project. Make them one of the bids and let Tommy prove to you why they are the answer for your needs.
When you go to that website, you can check out a full gallery of what they can do for you, past projects that Tommy and the team have done. You can also check out testimonials from other customers and just see kind of the work that Tommy does. We tell you every single day. Go check it out for yourself. GoTommys.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs, even in the case of an after-hours emergency.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Yeah, something about your... This makes me want to just... God, I just want to punch you.
Yeah, what's he say on Step Brothers? He's like, again, you're doing a good job. If you don't change your face, I'm going to change it for you.
He's like, I wish I could. I wish I could. Hey, so I want to talk a bit of baseball, and I want to give Hunt Palmer credit for doing a better job of...
Give Hunt credit?
Contextualizing or explaining what I was trying to get at yesterday. When we were talking about this baseball team, right?
Just giving out credit out of your own benevolence?
Well, no, because, okay, what I was trying to verbalize yesterday, and I didn't do a terribly good job at it because I kind of, whatever, it doesn't matter. I just didn't. And what I was trying to get at, right, people are talking about, this is like 2020 football all over again.
Right.
And I was trying to say, no, I mean, I don't think so because I don't think this team is actually terrible. I just think their record is terrible. Like sometimes your record can be better than what you're playing, right? Like, I know this year's Knicks are good, but wasn't it? Or no, sorry. It was like last year's Marlins, randomly. It doesn't matter where I heard it. But last year's Marlins, I think, had like the worst run differential of any team to ever make the MLB postseason, right? So you can be better than you actually are record-wise, and you can be worse, whatever. So Hunt did a good job of putting numbers behind it to basically get at what I was getting at, which is if you look, I'm going to read off some stats here and understand, Jake, the Tigers rank between 5th and 9th in all of these stats. Okay. And in the SEC, 5th and 9th. So just dead middle of the pack. Batting average, slugging percentage, on base percentage, hits, doubles, triples, home runs, walks, strikeouts, steal attempts, ERA, opponent batting average, hits allowed, runs allowed, and home runs allowed. So in basically every major statistical category, you are middle of the pack. And yet you're 3-12.
Right.
Like you should be, let's see, like 7-8 or 6-9 or even 5-10. The 3-12 is a function of playing a very good schedule thus far. And Hunt goes so far as to point out, look, Kentucky's currently leading the SC 13-1, I believe. Their opponents have won a combined 25 SEC games. Your opponents have won a combined 44.
Ooh.
And now people say, oh, but T-Bob, look how Florida's cratered. Look at this. Look at Mississippi State and that. Like, well, you can't be. Well, again, but what series were you actually close to winning? The Florida series, a 500 SEC team in which you're one pitch away. The Mississippi State series
Vandy
got away from you. Yeah, Vandy, like the 500 teams are the ones that you've been most competitive against that you arguably should have or in good position to win them. You just, again, have a distinct, like we said, and this is what it all started with yesterday, you're just finding ways to lose right now. Like when the pitches, when the pitching shows up, the bats don't. Or the bats do, but not in the big situations. We mentioned the fact that even though Tennessee was an absolute buzzsaw, your staff held up very well throughout the entirety of the weekend, but your bats against a Tennessee staff that has struggled did not. But against Vanderbilt, the opposite was true. Where that's a very good Vanderbilt staff, and your bats showed up, but your pitching did not against a Vanderbilt a lineup that hits for average and gets on base, but didn't have power yet. They just played power against you. So again, it's that. So when I talk about cutting my genitals off if LSU finishes last in the SEC.
727.
Again, we're not gonna. We won't go deep on that topic until 9:30 when we go to the Tiger droppings thread. There's a lot. Okay, Jake. There is a lot. Thank you. But when I talk about it, that's why I'm confident in saying that.
Yeah.
Because this record it will correct itself. I don't know to which extent. But again, I do not believe that the numbers support this being the worst team in the SEC, even though right now, currently only Auburn is below you.
No, it does not, and it's a great job. I'm obviously kidding with my 318 brethren, Hunt Palmer, pointing all those things out, and you have been very close. And that's what we talked about yesterday. We talked about having those moments, having the opportunity, getting out of the eighth inning against Vanderbilt, not having – and look, the strikeout where Florida scores a run and they extend the game, like that was something that it doesn't matter who's playing catcher. That was always going to happen. But, like, finding a way to get out of that eighth inning without giving up a run. Like, there's a couple of moments, and we're not talking about sweeping these series. We're talking about when the bases are loaded twice against Tennessee, pushing across 3 or 4 runs and not 1 run in those 2 situations. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, that's the situations that we're talking about. And let's just say you pick up the Vandy game, the Florida game, and 1 Tennessee game. How much better do you feel if you have just 6 SEC wins at this point? So, no, it hasn't been just a complete disaster. Now, it's been a disaster to LSU standards.
Yeah.
But you've had the opportunity to put yourself in a much better position. You just haven't made one play in 3 games that you can really think of to change your season.
Yeah, and so and again, it's I'm not arguing that LSU is a great team or arguably even a good team. In fact, they don't even feel like a postseason team right now. But I am arguing that they're not as bad as 3-12, and that I think it's going to improve here. But it's got to start this weekend. You know, you're going to Como. That is a team. What are they? 5-10. They had the one. Who'd they sweep? Was it Florida?
Florida.
In the cold? Was that the early weekend?
Missouri owns the Florida Gators in like sports, I feel like.
Yeah, for whatever reason. But I mean, you take away that sweep, and you're talking about a 2-10 Missouri team in the SEC. Okay, you got to get 2. You got to get 2 this weekend. If you really want to get frisky, you probably got to get 5 of the next 6 between Mizzou and Auburn, but it's got to start with 1. Jay Johnson had his show last night, and one thing that was apparent last weekend is, look, we're going to try everything. Okay, we're going to try everything, and the youth movement is representative of that. Whether it's Aiden Moffitt, Cam Johnson on the mound, or Ashton Larson, who's 9 of 18 in his last 5 SEC games. Here's what Jay had to say on his young freshman Larson.
Proud of Ashton. I think the mental stability, the maturity that he's playing with as a freshman, honestly, is some of the best on our team. Like some guys that have played a little more college baseball, if they emulated kind of how he's going about it, would put themselves in a better spot.
Wow.
And he's going to stand there, and he's going to play. And I'm very committed to that based on the types of at-bats that he's taken. I'm glad to hear you mention his play in the outfield, because that was a little bit of a question mark when he was coming to us, and he's been exceptional, defensively in the outfield as well. So really happy to have Ashton here, and he'll definitely be a centerpiece of the rest of the year and what we're trying to do going forward.
So Jay, told us last weekend everything's on the table in terms of moving guys around. He continues to tinker. Here's his. Here's some additional comments on potential lineup changes.
It's a fine line. In terms of trying to set the lineup. You're thinking offense or defense, and we don't have a clear answer where the same guy is the answer at that spot. And so feeling like we would need to score a little bit. We tried a little bit different setup with the lineup. It hurt us. We had 2 throwing errors that led to 2 of their runs, which was tough because, it's 6-3 game in the 9th inning, and we have the tying run at the plate. And so offensively, it was good at the end to put ourselves in position to win. But against a team that can hurt you offensively, you cannot give them any extra outs, which I thought we did a good job of that the next 2 days.
Yeah.
But that hurt us in the game on Friday.
And then we kind of mentioned getting to the big moments, right? But not being able to come through. Here's Coach Johnson speaking on that kind of pressure barrier.
I think when we went to Arkansas, number 1 team in the country, we were ahead in every game, in the 5th inning. And there's, 2 elements of, getting past what, Coach Burtman would talk about is the pressure barrier, where you eventually somebody's got to hit a ball in the gap with guys on base, to create a big inning. And at some point when you get that lead, you need somebody to go out and throw a 0. And we haven't put those 2 things together, and it's led to a couple tough losses.
And then finally, here is Coach Johnson on what's going to be the key to finishing out the second half of this SEC slate.
But really, we talked about this last week about really moving forward to what's next. And, as difficult as this stretch is, as difficult as I've had in my entire coaching career, we can still make the choice to have positive energy about what we're trying to accomplish and improve the baseball along the way as we go. And to me, that's the only solution right now, and really the only option right now.
I guess that is one of the freeing things about being in the position you're in, Jake, is kind of, you got no choice but to go for broke, right? Like, it can't get worse. So if you want to put guys in, give them opportunities, try new things. As a player, if you want to play a bit free, again, it can't get worse. So it's, you don't have the burden of like being in a seeding race or trying to see if you're going to be a regional host. Like, you don't have the luxury of standing watching. All you can care about is what is immediately in front of your face.
Well, there's no doubt about that. I mean, certainly the things that have always been in front of you are not there anymore. Like hosting not only like not a super regional, a regional like that right now, you can't worry about any of that. Like you got to make Hoover. Like you got to, get into the SEC baseball tournament. And then like if you achieve that then you start to worry about, okay, let's get into the postseason.
Yep.
And then like it's got to be, the steps have to change. Like you're not taking a giant leap to a super regional anymore. It is steps to get to that point. And, for you, the SEC schedule is going to look different. It has been at Bayer. And look, that's what SEC baseball is. But now you do have the opportunity to go against the last place team in the East.
Yep.
You have the opportunity to go against the last place team in the West.
Yep.
Auburn being that. Ole Miss is off to a 5-10 start. Alabama 6-9. Outside of Texas A&M, you're facing teams with a losing record.
Yeah.
Right? So if you want to talk about the things that are close for LSU and the small margins and making the play and hunt stats about being in the middle of the pack, well, if you want to prove us wrong, go out and win games against teams that are bad, teams that are not playing well in the SEC. And so that opportunity, because you should have some advantages in all of these series outside of Texas A&M.
Yeah,
right? And
I
even
agree.
in Texas A&M, like, that's still a series that you can go out and win a couple of games. And so you just have to right now take advantage of where you're at after starting with some really good baseball teams. You didn't take advantage of the opportunities that you had, but now you're going to have many more against teams that you should have success against.
I mean, if you win the series against the 4 bad teams, let's say you go 2-1 every time. We're going to give you a sweep. It's going to be 8-4, right? And then if you manage to take that'd be 8-3, sorry.
Yeah.
And then if you manage to take 1 off of A&M, what are we at? 9
then you're at 12. You're 12 wins.
Yes, you'd be at 12 overall. So that's what I'm saying. So like it's not, that's a pretty realistic breakdown of how this thing could go. Maybe not realistic if you're going to say 4 series wins after how things have started, but again, much worse teams, right? So the point is maybe you stumble into a sweep somewhere along the way, you get the 1 off of A&M, and then all of a sudden you get the 10 wins that you potentially need. But again, it's got to start here in the short term. All right, we'll get to some of your comments next. Keep it locked right here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Get Gordon and get it done. If you're a 2024 high school graduate, check it out, man. Go to GordonGives.com. GordonGives.com. When you go there, you will find details on how you can win one of 12 laptops that Gordon is giving away to graduating high school seniors, okay? So not only does Gordon help you out when you get in an accident, you need somebody who's going to fight for you, get you what you deserve, but also likes to give back around Christmas time, graduation time. So again, graduate seniors from high school, that is GordonGives.com.
Yeah, go to getgordon.com, and there you can find all the information of what they can do for you in their courtroom. Past client results. You can get a consultation set up right there on the website. You can find a list of cases they can handle for you. We tell you that every single day. But like T-Bob said, always doing something in the community to find that information. At Get Gordon is always going to be the handle on social media. And you know your area code in Louisiana, followed by 888-8888.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the gymsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the gymsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Bayou Ford has $10,000 off F-150s, $10,000 off the new F-150 truck, plus 1.9% for 72 months. And all new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Power up your next project with John Deere Deals by Sunshine. Whether you're working hard or playing hard, our knowledgeable team will help you find the right product for you. Ask us about our amazing tractor package promotions. Learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
I want to get some spring game thoughts around the country a bit later on, Jake. Also, I rewatched some of the LSU spring game, and I maybe got a couple additional things to get into there. We got some recruiting news to touch on, and hour number 2 as well as some stars in town for the spring game last week, and also got a big commitment, so we'll get into all of that next hour. Something that we need to continue to think about and explore. I think we touched on it yesterday. It's kind of the log jam currently going down in the SEC as it's a fun hypothetical to play with, right? I'm talking about football here. But like, okay, let's say you get 3 playoff spots. You're going to slot Georgia into 1.
Yep.
And then for those other 2, the candidate list immediately becomes very crowded. And when you try to mentally play it out, Jake, there's no easy answer, right? I would have Ole Miss in there. I'd have Mizzou in there. I'd have Alabama in there. I'd have Texas in there. I'd have Tennessee in there. And I'd have LSU in there. That's 6 teams for 2, maybe 3 spots. And I got to say, on the Alabama front, but they looked pretty damn good at A-Day. That offensive line and Justice Haynes and Jam Miller, that's going to be their driving force. Like, I think Jam Miller is going to be really good under Kalen DeBoer. But ultimately, everything is going to build off of their O-line and their rushing attack. And just from a matchup standpoint, I hate that for LSU. Now, that said, Alabama's secondary is their potential weakness. And from a matchup standpoint, I would like that.
Which is
for
crazy.
LSU. Well, they lost, you
lose Caleb Downs.
Yeah, they lose a whole NFL.
You lose the DB whisperer as well. Nick Saban.
Yes. You lose Nick Saban and you lose a whole NFL worth of secondary. But the point is, like, Alabama should probably still be near the top of this list, right? I have major questions about Texas. Would you put them in there, or is it Ole Miss after all the hype of the last 2 years and what they added?
Let's talk about Ole Miss real quick. I think they're going to have to prove to me that they can be a program that lives with those expectations. I'm not saying that they can't, but they're going to have to prove to me. Like, the fact that we're just giving ourselves over to Ole Miss, I think I need to wait and see a little bit.
Did they prove anything to you last year, building off of what was – like, they had never done something 2 years ago. They did that, and then they did better.
Yeah, exactly. There's steps to this thing.
Yeah.
And last year was a step for them. Now they got to take the biggest step, which is going from kind of the nice story, a really good team, to a team that we think can really win a championship.
Yeah.
Not like they haven't won the SEC yet. You know what I'm saying? So, like, there's steps to this process, and their schedule helps them out. But with all the new, like, a lot of times, sometimes new can be good, right? A lot of times it's worked out. A lot of times it hasn't. Sometimes it works out. Sometimes, like, we know that.
Yeah.
And they have a lot of new. Now, Lane does a really good job of integrating the new into his system, but just to assume that that's going to work out and play out for them, it's just a lot of assuming. I think that they can get to that position. But as you know, T, like, once you try to get to that next threshold, sometimes it just doesn't work out for you. And so I'm not putting them like, hey, you're in the playoff right now. The only SEC team right now, there's 2 that I would probably put in that conversation. It would be Georgia and Texas. And outside of that, I think there's question marks with everyone else. And even Texas has question marks.
I was going to say, that's interesting because I would just apply everything you said about Ole Miss and say it to Texas as well.
But I saw Texas at least make it to the college football playoff, win their conference last year. Was it a different conference? Yes.
Yeah, I was going to say, I still think, I think Ole Miss, Texas last year would have been a real interesting game. I think Byron Murphy and T'Vondre Sweat would maybe push me towards. They would have
feasted, yeah.
That would probably push me towards giving Texas the nod. But, like, I guess what I'm saying is I find Texas season last year and Ole Miss's to be equivalent relative to opponent and then what they accomplished. Both end up with 2 losses. Ole Miss has a very convincing bowl win where Texas loses to a damn good Washington team second year in a row.
Who played their best game of the year probably in that game.
But Texas also lost to Oklahoma. Like, where are Texas? They had the Alabama win on the road. But that was an Alabama team, though, that also got, at that point in the year, pushed to the brink by South Florida. So I don't know. I mean,
South Florida actually.
I would say that Texas. I would say that Texas is. I agree. Like, I'm bullish on both Texas and Ole Miss. That's actually who I would choose.
It was much better up front than Ole Miss. That would be the difference for me.
I would choose Georgia, Texas, and Ole Miss in terms of who I think out of the SEC would be my top 3 this year. And Alabama probably deserves to be in there as well, potentially. But again, I just think that everything you said about Ole Miss, I would also apply to Texas. I got to, because now they have an expectation that they didn't have previously. And we've never seen it from Sark. Like, we've seen it actually more consistently from Kiffin than we have Sark.
But but Kiffin's never made it to the position. And trust me, I do know what you're saying. And I know you went into the year talking about Texas a lot. But Sark did find a way to make it to the college football playoff. I still think, I think that's a step for Lane that I've got to see him get to. Now it's expanded playoff. It's going to be an easier situation to get into the playoff, but there's still like that step that Sark is even taking that Kiffin is not.
We got to go to break, but give me a quick answer here. So yes, Sark made it, but was Sark's path easier? I mean, they lost to Oklahoma and still made it, which should have never happened out of that Big 12.
Beat Alabama, though, and Ole Miss didn't.
They did beat Alabama. That is true. That is true.
On the road.
That is true. On the road. All right. When we get back, let's close out hour number 1 of OTB.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge, All-Star Toyota, BatonRouge.com. Go to All-Star Toyota today and, go see them off Airline and Goodwood Highway. Okay, go look at the incredible selection they've got right there. Meet the sales staff that can help find you and your family exactly what you need. Maybe it's a minivan. Join me in the MVG, the minivan gang, y'all. New Sienna is getting better and better each and every day. Hybrids are awesome, too. I don't talk about that much, but, all these new vehicles are basically hybrids, and I find it to be the best of both worlds. You save a ton of money on gas, but also you get to fill up quickly with gas, right? You're not worried about charging or finding charging stations. So check out if maybe a new Toyota isn't for you. Go to allstartoyotabatonrouge.com.
Yeah, when you go to that website, you can buy new, leasing, or renting, whatever you're looking for. Remember, everything is available. So full fleet is available, even in the rental process. Per day rental prices, not going to find that anywhere else. Call Miss Lisa Sessions. They in that rental department, or check out the website, allstartoyota of BatonRouge.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs, even in the case of an after-hours emergency. The light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
With the 7th pick in the 2024 WNBA Draft, the Chicago Sky select Angel Reese, LSU.
Hey, shout out Angel Reese. Also, I know some of you enjoy spa days, but here on OTB, our girl Londra's giving you a little ska day. Keep it going, dude. I haven't heard some good ska in far too long.
What is ska?
It's like, to my understanding, layman understanding, it's kind of like Smash Mouth, No Doubt. I think it's got like is Sublime ska.
A little bit.
It tends to have horns in it. I feel it's kind of that early aughts type of music.
Sugar Ray. They fall into that?
I'm not sure. Again, I am by no means a ska expert. I just feel like the last 2 or 3 songs that Alondra has played would count as ska. I'm sure that chat will let us know. What?
It was Sublime that I was playing.
Just now?
No, that was No Doubt.
That was No Doubt.
Oh, yeah,
but before that,
yeah.
before that, it was No Doubt and Sublime together. Well, it was Gwen and
Yeah, Sublime. You're right.
Yeah.
Sublime probably. I just always thought of it as like stoner music.
Yeah.
But no, you're right. I mean, ska is stoner music in a lot of ways. Anyway, shout out Angel Reese, 7th overall pick, Chicago Sky. Her and Camila Cardozo now going to be teammates. How about that, dude? Pretty damn good combination there. I
be solid down low for sure. Yeah, in the paint.
Yeah. A couple of maybe some like Tim Duncan, David Robinson sort of feels there. I was thinking about this though. If you're a young basketball player and you're trying to make it in the WNBA, there just aren't that many roster spots to go around. And you've heard like Alexis Morris kind of opine on this last year, and others kind of complain about it. But I mean, you're talking 12 teams with 12 players. There's only 144 spots.
Yeah.
And that is going to weed out all but the best. But thankfully for Angel Reese, I think she is one of the best. She was serving up incredible looks last night. That outfit was fantastic. And now her dreams come true. A top 10 WNBA pick going to the Chicago Sky.
Yeah, it is crazy. Just think about how many roster spots and first-round picks, like later in the first round, getting released.
Yeah.
After getting selected in the first round. You don't see that in any other American sport, obviously. Now there's opportunities to play elsewhere, and those players, I'm sure, take full advantage of that. And there's new teams that are coming. There's expansion teams that are coming into the WNBA, so that will, add more spots. Obviously, I think it's 2 more teams coming here in the near future, so that's 24 more spots, but it does give you the best of the best.
Yeah, exactly.
The 12th person on the bench could be a first-round pick in a lot of cases.
And look, you've got great opportunities overseas and whatnot. If you don't make it, a lot of WNBA players will play a WNBA season and go immediately into a World League somewhere where they pay well. So there is opportunity, but in terms of the WNBA itself, it is very hard. But all we witnessed the last couple of years was Angel Reese doing hard things. And so congratulations to her. And Caitlin Clark, I mean, if you're an Indiana Fever fan, you got to be so excited right now. The injection, if you're an Indiana Fever owner, you got to be so excited right now with the injection that Caitlin Clark is bringing to that city. And really this crop of college stars, the first NIL female superstars now going to the WNBA. It'll be interesting to see, because their brands are even bigger than previous greats like Taurasi and Bird and whatnot. Do they have a bigger impact on getting the WNBA more to the fore? Only time will tell. But huge congrats. One of the best ever do at LSU.
I forget what the number was, but like almost every Indiana Fever game is going to be on national TV coming up in this next season. And I think like one of the Fever games was on national TV last season.
Yeah.
So they're going to have the opportunity.
Wait, what is it? I got a fever, and the only prescription is more Clark. No, nothing.
That was the worst Christopher Walken I've ever heard.
Okay, let me. How would I try to find it? What give me like a walking word. Guys, I got a prescription, and the only thing, I got a fever, and the only thing I need is more Caitlin. Can you give me more Caitlin? Yeah.
Better. It's still better? Like for somebody that does.
Starting to zero in. I've never tried to walk in and pray.
Everybody's trying to walk in.
Have you seen Dune 2?
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Let's go to break. How do I stay so young? Rejuvenate. RejuveMedical.com. Go there today.
Let's see. Now you're finding it.
And
then you lost.
I just sound like the guys on the commercial that they had with Christopher Walken recently, where he's just going through everyday life and everybody's like, hey, like doing their impression of him, and he's like, I hate you all. I'm sorry, Chris. I love Dune 2. I love Rejuve Me Medical. If you want to treat the untreated effects of aging, restore me, refuel me, rejuve me. RejuveMeMedical.com. Go there today. Get your labs drawn for free. Get that free professional estimate, right? Your body will be the guy telling them where you're strong, where you're weak. Maybe it's HRT, maybe it's semaglutide. The bottom line is they got something to help you feel like your best self, okay? Your younger self, your confidence you used to have. Metairie, Slidell, Shreveport, Monroe, Baton Rouge, RejuveMeMedical.com.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Yo, Jake here from my friends over at Community Steel Company located in Gonzales, Louisiana. The local place you can turn to for all of your metal building needs. Notice I said local, not Houston, not Dallas, not Atlanta, but right here in Gonzales. Visit them at their brand new state-of-the-art website at communitysteelco.com or pick up the phone and give them a call today to answer all of your questions on your metal buildings, roofing and sheet metal, and any other steel needs you or your business need at 225-647-2020.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Power up your next project with John Deere Deals by Sunshine. Whether you're working hard or playing hard, our knowledgeable team will help you find the right product for you. Ask us about our amazing tractor package promotions. Learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Good morning. It's 8 a.m. here on Tuesday, April 16th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect mostly sunny skies with a high of 87. In hour 2 of today's show, we'll talk some transfer portal news and the latest with LSU football. You can follow us on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN and watch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel. Hour number 2 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios, starts now. Let we go!
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo.
Hey, Jacob. Welcome back to another hour of OTB. Hey, look, did you forget my picnic basket? That would be my Yogi Bear, okay, guys? Okay? Relax. Hey, boo-boo. I haven't seen Yogi Bear in like 20 years. at least, right? When's the last time you actually saw a Yogi Bear cartoon?
Probably when Jackson was 3 or 4.
I don't think my kids have ever seen Yogi Bear. They're just now getting into Tom and Jerry.
They used to, what was it, Boomerang?
Yeah.
Boomerang
Yeah,
channel.
hell yeah.
Magilla Gorilla was on there. Yogi Bear was on there.
Magilla Gorilla always felt like
Quick Draw McGraw was on there.
You know how you have Count Chocula, who's like the kind of Oops All Berries version of Count Chocula. It's not in the Captain Crunch family. There's like a horror themed like bear. Is it a mummy maybe? Whatever.
There's Boo Berry.
Yeah, like Boo Berry. Okay, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Magilla Gorilla feels like Boo Berry to me. Pretty ancillary.
Compared to
Never
who?
really a star compared to a Yogi Bear.
I mean,
and like he was always a side
Magilla
character.
Gorilla for sale. Come on, man.
I don't know if I really actually remember it that much. Frankenberry. Frankenberry would also, Frankenberry. There you go. Frankenberry was one of them that I would say is kind of a side character. Grape Ape. He was on, I don't even know if I remember the original Grape Ape cartoons. I remember him on an episode of Harvey Birdman, Attorney at Law, which coincidentally, one of the funnier Adult Swim shows of all time. Y'all never saw Harvey Birdman, did you?
I didn't see it. No.
I know. Yeah, I've seen Harvey plenty.
I think you're lying.
I am.
Yeah,
Yes.
I thought so. Space Goes Coast to Coast. I'll just keep going down old Adult Swim shows. Robot Chicken.
I know.
I've heard of Robot Chicken. I don't never seen it.
Great.
Yeah, the old. I didn't understand it at the time. I'd love to see it as an adult, right? Because they were like, I didn't understand that they were parodying late night talk shows.
I was right in the sweet spot.
Yeah, I kind of it was a little above my head at the time. Okay, so Robot Chicken. What are the other great Adult Swim shows of all time? I mean, Adult Swim brought back Family Guy.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
Yeah,
Family Guy was originally
that's like
canceled.
where I first started watching Family Guy.
Yeah, I think that's where everybody did. And then the DVD sales skyrocketed and they brought it back. And now it's been on for what, like 20-something years at this point?
Yes.
And I'm not naming anime shows, by the way. We're not going to do Adult Swim anime. I'm just trying to think of other great Adult Swims that I loved. Robot Chicken will always be very close to my heart. Daniel Bastia's Count Choco is an S-tier cereal. I don't know about that, bro. I don't know about that.
That's good.
I didn't say it was bad, but I mean, we're just throwing around S tier like that.
I just said it was good.
Okay, that's what I thought. Good as B tier. We run a very tight tier ship here on OTB, and well, I'm gonna go down a limb here, guys. I don't know we're gonna have the extended run that we did for baseball last year to get us through the summer doldrums. So sharpen up those tier knives.
Literally said that to Katie last night.
Yeah. Sharpen up those tier knives because
last year, I mean, it was like there was no off season. I mean, we were rocking and rolling all the way through the summer. There was never any day where it's like, hey, what's interesting today?
No. Well, because what we went late June with baseball, mid July was SEC Media Day, and then.
Yeah, well, you had the basketball national championship.
Yeah.
You got like until this point at least minimum with that.
Yeah.
And then SEC baseball was obviously already started, so you were in the thick of that. And of course, we had Beth on every week as well. Softball was playing well. Like it just continued on. I mean, it was so much so that like we had Harlow, and I'm sitting there like, man, I feel bad. T-Bob's by himself, and then it's like, no, I don't. He's got plenty to talk about.
Oh yeah, no, it was great, man. It was so cool getting to watch that part of that Omaha run at the beach, just alone, stressing out, like freaking out every single. Those are some of the most positive memories of my entire life. Aqua Teen Hunger Force. I knew there was a massive one that was missing. Any Aqua Teen? My name is
Kid Rock.
Zula, the Mike Hula, the old schooler. You want to check? I'll give it to you. Fry like an amount. Nothing.
I didn't watch Adult Swim.
Meat why get them honeys, see.
I know the Kid Rock part.
Yeah.
No, that was the Adult Swim theme song. Or that was the Aqua Teen Hunger Force theme song. Carl from Aqua Teen Hunger Force, as Chad has pointed out, an all-time character, a just perfect parody of a greasy Italian tank top wearing New York Giants fan. Does not get better.
Are we sure it doesn't? Getting better?
I think Carl, in terms of he would probably be on my top 5 animated characters that are not the main character of the show list. So in that regard, no. Much like it barely gets better than us being the, mid-market local morning sports talk shows.
Yeah.
Carl in his own category is also fantastic.
Where did we finish? 10? 9?
It was 9.
Oh, ooh.
What?
9.
Yeah, 9. Yeah, that's what I'm
All
saying.
right.
Yeah.
Don't make a big deal about it, but it's a big deal.
Gulf South says they only know Octane Hunger Force because of SVP and Russillo having Carl as a guest. Yeah, all of that dates you, right? That is all of a time. Do people even remember SVP and Russillo?
The greatest.
So I remember that. I don't know the
I
Carl.
still think the greatest.
Yeah. Maybe the greatest radio show. Definitely around these parts. Baton Rouge in particular seemed to really be in love with SVP and Russillo.
I mean, I didn't live here really when that was going on. I was out west, but I still listened to it every day that I could.
Yeah.
I mean, it's something that, like, even in the locker room, like, we all enjoyed having that on.
Moonanites. I forgot about the Moonanites. Unbelievable.
We're sitting here, by the way, we're talking about championships and teams making runs and us being, how long ago does it feel like gymnastics had their regional?
I mean, it's a solid 2 or 3. No, it's this weekend, right? 18th or no?
Thursday.
No?
It's the 18th.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, that was...
It was 2 weeks ago.
April
over 2
the
weeks ago.
6th.
Yeah.
And it feels like that was a month ago. I'm like, it's a long layover. From the regional to the NCAA semifinals.
I dislike it from a form standpoint because LSU's been in such incredible form. Then again, I think like I talked about with the Pelicans, approaching things without fear. This LSU gymnastics team needs to approach this with the confidence of being the alpha because they have been. They consistently go over 198 every single week this year. They just kind of cruised to an easy regional win. I think they were the only team that broke 198 on that Saturday in which they advanced to the Final 8. So, it's been a while, but it's a little time for them to get healthy.
Yeah.
And now it's a golden opportunity starting Thursday for Haley Bryant and the rest of this crew to write their legends and try to become the first ever LSU Tiger gymnastics team to hoist that national championship trophy. And I know what it means to that program. I know what it means to Jay Clark. And I'm going to be on pins and needles watching later this week.
Oh, that would be huge. In a sport, T-Bob, that you've been so close. It's been one of the most popular sports on campus. You've been a standard in college gymnastics, and you've been close. I mean, you were right there. You were runner-up a year ago. And so to finally, to get to that point and lift that national championship trophy, that would be the icing on the cake for a program that has just continued to build itself year after year.
Well, and that's what's crazy is you got second last year, and you were just put together with popsicle sticks and bubble gum. I mean, it was a MacGyver of a year, just injuries top to bottom on the roster. These gymnasts just get, finding ways, just people stepping up. Now it's the opposite. Now you're healthy. You have all the frontline superstars, and it's just, that's why gymnastics is such a mind, a challenge to me. Such a mind F is you've done so much good, but can you do it now? And then can you do it next time when it matters most? And you're always, you have to be perfect. You're not allowed the luxury of missing a block and then having another play to make up for it. You have to be perfect when those lights come on. And so preparing for that, trying to wrap your head around that is impossible for me outside looking in. But obviously that's what these women have been doing their entire lives. And it's something that Jay Clark's been doing his whole life. And so, I feel they're ready. I feel they're ready. I feel great about this team.
It would be the next step, and it'd be the only step that they haven't gotten to yet. And you're right. The form, you almost wish that, hey, you had this on April the 6th. Around April the 12th, you ran it back. It is an extended kind of rest for them. Last year, that would have been great because they were so beat up. But this year, with the form that you're in and you're staying hot. So I believe in session 1, it's Arkansas, Cal, and Stanford there with you. So top 2 advance, if I'm not mistaken, out of that as well. And so, and
same
then
thing
Saturday
as the
would be
regional.
The championship, right?
Yep, same thing as the regional. You have 2 groups, 4, top 2 from each advance, and you have your final 4. And, of course, LSU making that final 4 and finishing second out of nowhere last year. Here's hoping they can get it done, man. All right, things to get to this hour. We'll touch quickly on the Saints draft at some point. We do have some recruiting news coming out this last weekend. But, hey, it's transfer portal day today, guys. And guess what? Some D linemen may be hitting the market. The problem is, as we'll discuss, seems like everyone kind of needs defensive tackles. More OTB coming up next.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
CentralPlumbing.org, 925-8552, centralplumbing.org. You got a plumbing problem, you call Central Plumbing at 925-8552, or you just sign on to centralplumbing.org. Take advantage of their 24/7 emergency service, the massive fleet. Okay, they can get out to your home whenever you need them. Flat rate pricing, excellent warranty once the work is done. Of course, everybody is licensed, bonded, and insured. CentralPlumbing.org, 925-8552. Your one-stop plumbing shop. They've been at it for 50 years, y'all.
Go to that website, check out what they can do for you in the remodel game. That's at your home or your business. So at home, if it's just one bathroom, they can handle that. And if it's at your business and maybe you have an entire floor in a downtown building and you got multiple restrooms there, don't worry, they can come in and they can help you there as well. Also, go tankless today, like we tell you, with the tankless water heater. Never run out of hot water. Doesn't matter what time you get home, shower. So you got to do the dishes, laundry. You're okay with you go tankless, centralplumbing.org.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the gymsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the gymsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Power up your next project with John Deere Deals by Sunshine. Whether you're working hard or playing hard, our knowledgeable team will help you find the right product for you. Ask us about our amazing tractor package promotions. Learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is taking $11,000 off the new 23 Dodge Charger. We're open for business in our beautiful new showroom and taking $11,000 off the powerful new Charger. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
The best kept secret.
Charles Hanniger, join us for the Tuesday edition of Live at Lunch from Mike Anderson Seafood, Wesley at Nicholson. We're getting you ready for the NBA play-in between the Pels and Lakers, and Andy Isco joins us from Las Vegas. Live at Lunch, 11 a.m. Tuesday on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
So, dude, welcome back. OTB. Portal Day today. How about it, guys? Huh? So that really just means that players can start committing today. Because they've been entering the portal, or they've just been announcing their intentions to enter the portal. So today you can officially
enter, be contacted, all that thing.
The portal. Portal combat.
Yep.
Beginning today.
Finish him.
The 2024, this is from On3.com. 2024 transfer portal. Well, someone transfer a voice to me real quick.
Good.
Oh, man, now I sound like Taylor. Damn it didn't work. Oh, let me try again. Hold on. All right, I'm back. Biggest spring needs. This is from On3.com. 2024 transfer. Biggest spring needs are the top 10 national championship contenders. So what they did here, Jake, was they took the top 10, according to Vegas, the teams that have the top 10 best odds of winning the Natty. LSU's one of them. And you know, obviously, we know what LSU's needs are. Defensive tackle. So let's see what these other teams need. According to, and this is from Jesse Simonton, who does great work for On3. According to Jesse Simonton, what does the UGA Bulldogs need? Interior defensive tackles. That's right. They did not get Walter Nolan over the offseason. They did get Xavier McLeod, who looked really good from spring, coming over from South Carolina. But look, if there was a relative weakness and a heavy emphasis on the relative last season, it was Georgia's interior defensive line, as that run defense was not nearly what it was a couple of years ago. Let's look at what Texas? Let's look at what Texas needs.
It was April 15th yesterday.
It is. I mean, it's a season. What do the Texas Longhorns need? Interior defensive tackle.
Yeah, they got two in the NFL draft coming up. Yeah, it makes sense. You know.
Let's move out to the Oregon Ducks. You guessed it. Interior defensive tackle, as they've done great work pretty much everywhere else, getting the quarterbacks. Forgot they got Evan Stewart. You know anything about Jay Harris, Division II running back they got? He's a Division II All-American. I just didn't know if he'd come across. A Division II All-American just sounds gritty. I didn't know he'd come across your radar yet.
Yeah, gosh, we were talking about that when we were talking about Cody Schrader, like maybe a couple of days ago. I don't remember. Maybe it was last week. On paper, you're trying to find the next always, whoever the next might be, like the next Division II running back to turn into Cody Schrader, who leads the SEC in rushing. You try to find the next Danny Woodhead, who I think Danny Woodhead was like Division III, maybe even something.
Damn.
And then he turns into a 10-year NFL vet, one of the better third down backs in recent memory. So you're always trying to find that next. And so, look, go get a Division II All-American and see, because running back is a position that you can plug and play a little bit. You don't have to have that chemistry of being there for a long time and being a quarterback. And you can either run the football or you can't. And so if there was a position where you can go from Division II to whatever league you're talking about and have some success, I do think it is running back.
What about the Florida State Seminoles, led by Mike Norvell, a portal master in his own right, the portal king, some have crowned him. Well, what do they need? You guessed it, interior defensive tackle. Jake, if you are a big D tackle, there has never been a better time to make a lot of money. Because I don't care if people say you're overrated, you're not worth it. There are so many teams that have needs in this regard that you are going to have suitors no matter what. And it's going to be pretty fascinating to see LSU try to go toe-to-toe with these teams. Now bringing Bo Davis to bear and trying to take advantage and get some of these big defensive tackle names over the next few weeks.
Yeah, but I will say, like, how much is your need? Like, I wish there was levels to this.
That's fair.
Like,
I mean, there is. I mean, they write about each one, to be fair. Like,
because ESPN.com, they put out kind of the same article, and it was like guys that are going to, or teams that are going to be very active in this transfer portal, 7 schools who need this position more than any other school needs this position. And then LSU falls on the defensive tackle spot there. And so you're going to be uber aggressive. And so you're not looking right now to spend your NIL capital anywhere else. You're looking firmly at the defensive tackle position. Now, UGA, they might be looking at defensive tackle, but also tight end.
Mhm.
And Florida State might be looking at defensive tackle, but also receiver.
Well, and
Like-
the path to playing at UGA is not going to be. I mean, maybe they need depth. Maybe they need a little
Right.
reinforcement,
Yeah, 'cause
right?
you
But it's
got
not like
starters.
LSU where you could come in and you'd have a very fair chance of becoming an immediate
There
starter.
ain't no question about it. You can come in LSU right now and you're competing to be D tackle 1.
Yeah.
Not 2, not 3, not 4. I mean, you would be fighting with Jacoby and Guillory to be D tackle 1. And so LSU offers that. And again, I think that we talked about this, I think it was last week. You have to overpay in the second portal window because that player's his worth, if it was 3 months ago, would be completely different. And that's why, like, now there's a risk to it because you're not there for spring ball fourth quarter program. But as a player, your ultimate value is going to be in this portal window because teams are going to have to overreach for you because this is the last time that they can add anyone to their roster.
Well, teams now know themselves. Like, if you
Yes.
watched any of the highlights from the Ohio State spring game, it is clear that offensive line needs help.
Yep.
They failed to name a starter coming out of spring, which is not great for a team that is thought to be maybe the premier challenger to UGA. But again, I don't think it's a death sentence by any means. It's just not ideal. But then watching the spring game, it's like, okay, well, one of the reasons why they haven't named a starter is because the defense just whooped the O-line's ass the entire time. I mean, the quarterbacks were under constant duress. So, like, yeah, to Jake's point, this is the portion of your year where you learn more about yourself and you know your needs are they're much more clearly defined. And so, yeah, players are going to gain value if they can fill those needs. For what it's worth, the Simonton article says LSU, anything on defense, which is probably a bit unfair.
I don't think linebacker.
Though rewatching the spring game, I did come away again. Yes, the offense should kick their ass. It'd been much more concerning if this offense was struggling against that defense, given that they're just better and defense is only running base. Still, as Kelly talked about during the game, too many big plays. Busted coverages, just allowing too many big plays. The Caleb Jackson touchdown run felt so eerily similar to so many times last year with awful run fits from the safeties, bad angles. I mean, I'm not surprised that the O-line blocked it up perfectly and that I think it was power and like Perkins got just demolished by maybe it was Dellinger pulling around. Like I'm not surprised by any of that, but I did find the run fits to be a little disheartening there. So whatever, the defense does have to get better. It's just that interior defensive tackle is kind of where you have the most need.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question about it because we've talked about some of the veteran players you have at safety, and you got some young players that are coming as well. Corners, you're going to be incredibly young. I would not be surprised if they just added a veteran corner now.
Yeah, I think you have to.
You do have a veteran corner coming back from injury a little bit later on. Wasn't there in the spring in Alexander, so you have him coming back, and so that will help give you a veteran presence. I thought there was times he played really well before he got injured. So you do have some reinforcements coming, but I would add a third, fourth year player just in that room that's maybe not even going to be like a guy who rolls out there every single time, but just to have a veteran presence in that room.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the success that you had with like Jared Bernard Converse or something, right? Now that's going to be on the highest end of that scale, right? I doubt you'll find a guy like that in this window, but I certainly you should. Who is the safety? Jacoby Matthews?
Yeah, but he's from A&M, so you can't in the second window.
Yeah, because the SEC rule.
SEC rule, not NCAA, SEC rule that you can't go to another SEC school in the second window and be eligible.
The same way that people challenge the NCAA's rules in those regards in court, I wonder what would happen if that was challenged in court. I mean, because the SEC would have no power that the NCAA would not, right? Not that you're going to bring it to that end, but that's certainly interesting to think about. So portal opening up today. Again, you have a lot of the same needs as others. Can you out-recruit them? Can you out-pitch them? And to Jake's point, your need is more desperate, which probably means you might offer more. And again, your path to the field is clearer than pretty much any other team that we just named. For what it's worth, the other top 10 teams in their portal needs, one that weren't defensive tackle. We mentioned Ohio State needing offensive tackles. One thing you do not need at all. Alabama, we talked about their secondary earlier, right? Replacing Taron Arnold, Cooley McKinstry, Caleb Downs. Trey Atmos. They got a lot of names that they have to try to replace with, I think, Malachi Moore being the lone DB with multiple years of experience returning there. Michigan, any offensive pieces, quarterback, wide receiver, offensive line, they just have lost a massive amount in a single offseason. They have Ole Miss needing a running back. Not quite having filled that Quinshon Judkins hole, which, again, Judkins maybe flashed one time in that Ohio State spring game. That O-line, man, that's going to be Ohio State's Achilles heel.
Logan Diggs at Ole Miss.
They signed Logan Diggs, so.
No, yeah, I know, but I mean, Diggs is fine.
On ESPN.com, that same article in kind of the same vein, it had Michigan's biggest primary need as quarterback as well. And
you ain't going to find one of them now.
You look at the list, and it's like Alex Orji was somebody that came in like change of pace quarterback. I mean, he basically was a runner when he came in last year. Jack Tuttle coming over from Indiana. It's like they don't have a lot there, too.
No.
I'm surprised they didn't add in the initial. I guess they did in Jack Tuttle, but I don't know that that's your answer.
Feel bad for Sharon Moore, Feel like Harbs kind of saw the writing on the wall, the incredible exodus of talent and everything else, and was like, you know what? I think I'm good. We don't have a championship now. It's like, okay, Sharon Moore, you have to continue to live up to these championship expectations, and you're going to be dealing with a roster and a staff that has been completely changed and gutted. So Portal Day, open up today. Do to remind you, if you're looking to ignite your career, you might want to check out the MMR Group. That's right, man.
In the career portal.
Yes, exactly right. If you even if you're just starting out, you're a young careersman, player, freshman, or you're a seasoned pro, the MMR Group has opportunities for you. And if you want to join Dynamic Culture, right? You want to join the country's largest electrical and instrumentation contractor in the entire nation. Offices headquartered here in Baton Rouge, but also with offices all over the globe. You want to go on adventures. Again, get that career, outstanding benefits, a culture that is unparalleled. You want to join the MMR Group. We have a variety of positions available just for you. So build your future today by applying now at mmrgrp.com. Apply now, mmrgrp.com. So that's the portal opening up today. Over the weekend, Jake, LSU spring game. LSU had some big names in town. Of course, you had Bryce Underwood, the number one player, number one quarterback in the entire country back at LSU. You had Harlem Berry, the number one running back, and five-star LSU commit in town. You had Kalik Lockett, who's a five-star wide receiver, currently ranked second in the entire nation. You had the number one 2026 interior offensive lineman in U-High's Lamar Brown, and then you had a five-star corner from 2025, a name that they would love to somehow be able to land in DJ Pickett. Corey Raymond chatting him up. But some of the big news over the weekend, it's not just Harlem Berry committed to that running back group and Frank Wilson, as JT Lindsey signs his commitment as well. It's from Alexandria Senior High. He's a four-star. This guy was a late riser, now ranked as the number 11 running back in the entire country, a top 150 prospect. And I thought it was real interesting reading about JT Lindsey and his reaction to the offer, Jake, because I imagine it sounded a lot like what it felt like for you and me, where I will never forget Les Miles officially offering me a scholarship in his office with my grandfather there. It's a core memory. It meant so much. The rush of adrenaline and emotion and just feeling, I can feel the red like when it happened still. And basically JT Lindsey saying the same thing, that it was a dream come true, that it was almost surreal, and that he'd been waiting for this kind of his entire life. And now he follows in a couple of footsteps from other AHS grads and DJ Chark and Jacoby and Guillory. So a couple great running backs now committed in this 2025 class.
How about this to try to bring this conversation all together? So JT Lindsey's head coach, I played high school football with him, and when I got my offer from Nick Saban, talking about you remembering exactly where you were, I was on the phone. I was best friends with his younger brother. I was at their house when I got the offer from Nick Saban. They had a pool, and I remember I was on the phone sitting on the diving board when Coach Saban offered me, he is now the head coach of Alexandria Senior High there at Ash.
That's crazy, bro.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Oh, is that Ash? Okay, yeah, I didn't think about that. That's awesome. Well, it all comes full circle. And again, you gotta love in a day and age where this is harder and harder to find. There's maybe something to be said for the guy that's kind of motivated by the roots, right? That's always wanted to put on the purple and gold and then gets the opportunity to do so. That comes with a deeper level of motivation than can kind of be artificially achieved. All right, let's respect the clock, and we'll go to break. When we get back, just a quick recruiting update on Decorian Moore. Like we said, On3 flipping their pick from LSU to Texas a week ago, or maybe a couple of weeks ago at this point. What did Decorian Moore himself have to say on the matter? We'll talk about it next here on OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to allstartoyotabatonrouge.com, allstartoyotabatonrouge.com. Right there on the airline in Goodwood, baby. You need a body shop, service center. All makes and models are welcome. Go to All-Star. Mention OTB, Jake, or T-Up. Get $100 towards that deductible. Remember, insurance claims are welcome. Get a free professional estimate. Take advantage of the incredible lines of communication as they keep you abreast of the situation. No big decisions made without you giving the go-ahead. And look, they got the shuttle service, rental cars, factory parts. They're your one-stop shop for your new cars or used or fixing your cars. All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge.
Yeah, you can go to that website, check out everything they have available when it comes to buying new. Also, when it comes to leasing, like T-Bob and I have taken full advantage of, or like we've both done as well, and you're looking to rent, maybe for a day, maybe for a week, maybe for however long, go check all that information out. It's right there at your fingertips on the website, allstartoyotabatonrouge.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial properties. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Yo, Jake here from my friends over at Community Steel Company located in Gonzales, Louisiana. The local place you can turn to for all of your metal building needs. Notice I said local, not Houston, not Dallas, not Atlanta, but right here in Gonzales. Visit them at their brand new state-of-the-art website at communitysteelco.com or pick up the phone and give them a call today to answer all of your questions on your metal buildings, roofing and sheet metal, and any other steel needs you or your business need at 225-647-2020.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Power up your next project with John Deere Deals by Sunshine. Whether you're working hard or playing hard, our knowledgeable team will help you find the right product for you. Ask us about our amazing tractor package.
Join me for a Tuesday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show presented by Pluckers, getting you ready for LSU and UNO from the box with Glenn West and Sharif Ishak on the Saints and Pels as they get ready for LA. Hunt Palmer Show 1 to 3 weekdays, 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Is this Miranda Lambert?
Yep.
Nice. Hell yeah.
She dabbled in
ska.
Yeah.
What is dabbling in ska? You just like tongue a French horn.
Yeah.
Give it a little blow.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome back to OTB. We mentioned Corey Moore, 5-star wide receiver, number 1 receiver in the entire country, number 3 player overall, and 2025 LSU commit. Couple of weeks back, On3 starting to report that they believe that DeCorian Moore is going to flip to Texas, right? Because that's where he lives, and I don't know. Right? That's just the feeling that they were getting. Now, we said at the time it wasn't like a for sure thing. It was more of like a coin flip where the percentages had gone from 53-47 LSU to like 53-47 Texas, for whatever that's worth. Well, DeCorian Moore talked to On3's Chad Simmons, Jake, and here's what he had to say. He's talking about LSU now. Quote, "It's always been home, man. When I committed there from the start, it was just the relationships I built there. It was real genuine, and I feel like I can trust them in the moment and stuff like that. That on top of them being wide receiver U. They're producing some of the best wide receivers in the league right now. Cortez Hankton, I feel like me and him relate a lot. Me and him got the same birthday. Big. So we share a lot of similarities. I see how he coaches. I like the way he coaches. He's on that grind. I want to be a part of that. Here's where it gets interesting. I've been wanting to play there since I was little, so you can't change my dream." Pretty strong words.
Yeah.
From the LSU commit there to Corey Moore. Now, he was asked, okay, well, you know, you're still taking visits, though, to like Ohio State and Oregon. What would it take to flip you from LSU? He said, quote, "Really can't put that into words. I'm really just seeing what everybody else has to offer. Of course, what LSU showed me got me to commit, so that's where I'm at. Really, I'm just seeing the little things piece by piece, seeing what everybody else got to show me as well." Of course, probably include some financial showings. But, you know, not to the extent of a JT Lindsay, who describes the offer as like, you know, like almost immediately committed on the spot, and he's been waiting for so long. But DeCorian Moore, thanks to the success, he specifically references Odell Beckham and others of the past, growing up watching them, he's harbored his own dreams, as he said, of wearing the purple and gold.
I don't blame a student athlete for taking advantage of his visits and checking out what there is, because like you never want to leave wondering. I mean, I'm trying to think how many. Do you take all 5 years?
No, I always planned to, but I got lazy. And once I committed, I didn't want to, even though that was sneakily the best way to try to make money back in the day. Yeah. Because if you could get cheap transport, or if you were like lucky and your parents would pay for your transport, you would get money that would cover like the most expensive travel options, right? So you could come out a little ahead there by taking all 5 visits. But no, I did not.
I went to Texas. I went to Texas Tech. I was going to Miami, but I got the offer from LSU, committed then, and I was like, man, I feel bad because it was like the week of, and I was like, I already told Miami I was coming, and Coach Saban was basically like, you can go if you want to, but I wouldn't, kind of situation. And so
it's your choice.
And this is like a Thursday, T, and I had it planned for, you know, early Saturday morning, and I had to call Coach Warner, who was the coach at Miami, and be like, Magic Johnson ain't gonna be there.
I was just about to say that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna
and it
be
was,
there.
dude, that as an 18-year-old having to call somebody and like tell them that morning that you have a flight that the school's paid for, and hey, coach, I ain't gonna make it.
Yeah. Sorry, dog. Papa Nick came calling. And, thankfully he's not there anymore in our lives, that is, because when he came calling, not many said no.
He was at the Alabama spring game and did have some interesting quotes. He's like, I'm watching the team. There's a couple places I think they can add through the portal.
Yeah, you saw that. Yeah, he's struggling to still turn it off. He said, now he was watching the sideline report, then he went up to his suite, and he said the thing he was most nervous about was watching a game with Miss Terry because he's literally never done it before.
Yeah.
And so he doesn't know how it's going to go. Do you think Nick Saban will pick against Alabama on game day?
No. I mean, Corso picks for all the teams that he coached.
Georgia, Alabama.
Is it at Alabama or at Georgia?
I don't care.
Maybe if it's at Georgia,
Let's
he's
say
saying
at
he wouldn't be.
Saban's a pretty, fair guy for the most part. But if it's at Alabama, no chance.
Yeah. No, I don't think he'll ever pick against him anyway.
I think he'll pick LSU unless they're playing Alabama.
I think the best thing that could possibly happen would be a game day LSU Bama in Baton Rouge, and Nick Saban picks the Tigers and heals all the wounds of the past, and then LSU ends up winning.
I don't know if that heals all the wounds of the past. It doesn't heal mine, but yeah.
I don't know. It kind of feels like a lot of the Saban stuff is healed now that he's gone.
You'd feel good till about noon.
Even though I gotta say, I still think Alabama's going to be damn good this year. There's a lot of pad popping going on in that 8-day scrimmage, Jake. I thought they looked pretty physical. Again, I kind of see the vision for DeBoer, right?
When you got a new coach too, I went through a spring where we were changing coaches. You're going to have a little bit more life and more. I got to go prove myself, and you will have a more physical camp than you typically will. I'm not saying that's the only reason, because I'm a big fan of Kalen DeBoer, and I think he's a really good head coach. But that'll ramp things up, because you're like, hey, I can't rest on what I did for Coach Saban. This is a brand new staff. Like, everybody's new.
Well, and think about how he wanted to run the ball last year, right? Running it 30-plus times in all the major games. Maybe not having the most success, but really committed to it. Well, now I think he has better running backs, and it sounds crazy because they won the Joe Moore, but maybe a higher ceiling offensive line. And
we got some of the Joe Moore winners there. Didn't he get one?
Oh, did he take one of them? I didn't realize that. Yeah. And then again, I'm very bullish on Jalen Milroe. I know for whatever reason Alabama fans may not be as much, but like, I see someone who has such clear areas to improve. And if you can build an offense through running the ball super effectively, well, all of a sudden you set up Jalen Milroe for what he's best at, right? Making big plays down the field, or his own running ability. So watch out for Bam, man. Watch out for Bam. They ain't going. I don't think they're going anywhere anytime soon.
They're not going to fall off a cliff like some would have led you to believe. Again, I feel like so maybe you only concentrate on the SEC in this portion of the country, and you didn't get a chance. And you and I are fortunate enough to be able to do this, but to follow kind of Kalen DeBoer and see what he did week in and week out, and the big games that he got ready for against Oregon when they were supposed to get beat twice. In fact, that second time, they were a double-digit dog against a team that they had beaten the previous two times they played them.
I know.
And he goes out, he wins that one again. Real. He goes down to New Orleans. He beats a very good Texas team.
Back-to-back years beat Texas now.
Yeah. And then you ran into a team that was a bad matchup for you against Michigan. There was plays to be made. Michael Penix did not make those plays, and you lost. But still, Kalen DeBoer, hell of a football coach.
The record speaks for itself. And now he has by far the most top-to-bottom roster talent he's ever dealt with. It just can't. God. It's Sioux Falls background, man. It's a gritty background. I hate it, Jake.
The one thing I would say that if I'm an Alabama fan that probably didn't, I don't know, I'm not there in Tuscaloosa. Maybe we'll ask our guy Ryan Fowler. But losing Ryan Grubb is a major loss.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a major loss. I think he's one of the best offensive coordinators in college football. Now he's in the NFL.
Well, and I think the details of their relationship matters as much as Ryan Grubb himself. I mean, they were like brothers, right? Yeah. Like, he was actively taking less money consistently to get Grubb paid more. They'd worked together at every single stop they've been at, so they knew each other inside and out. Like, that is such a workload put onto DeBoer's shoulders at a time when he possibly, how much work can one man possibly shoulder at any given time? Still,
now, I know him and Nick Sheridan, who's the new OC there at Alabama. They've been together. a couple of different places at Indiana and Washington, but still not the same relationship that Ryan Grubb and DeBoer had. I mean, like you said, they've been together everywhere. They kind of grew up together in the game. And I do, think that Sheridan, being with him in a couple of different spots probably has some of that, but he ain't got all of it.
When we get back, wrap it up, hour 2 of OTB.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Coleman Roofing and Construction. You want Louisiana's most reliable, you want Louisiana's most respected, and Louisiana's most complete roofing company. You want Coleman Roofing and Construction. They've been at it for 40 years, y'all, and they can do any size job, commercial, residential. They can do any type of roof. They can do it anywhere in Louisiana, anywhere in the Gulf South region. I mean, just go to ColemanRoof.com. Look at what the customers have to say. The incredible 5-star reviews. And again, it's not just the roof. They'll fix that. But if you have any interior damage, the construction portion of it means they'll fix that as well. So, you need roofing? You need Coleman. Go to ColemanRoof.com today.
Yeah, and that's residential or commercial. If you need anything in the roofing game, they've got you covered. But also don't forget the construction services as well. So if we have a major storm and you have a leak and it damaged the interior of your home, that's okay, because Coleman truly is that one-stop shop. They can fix that. They can fix the leak. They can fix it all. Check them out online to find that information at ColemanRoof.com.
Our listeners fire up their opinions on the gymsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the gymsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Elevate brand visibility, ignite customer engagement with the power of radio and digital advertising combined. Guarantee Digital Media brings the two together as a trusted media partner in Louisiana for nearly a century. Claim your free digital audit at guaranteemedia.com.
He's here. Anyone want a Coors Light?
Oh, shoot, I forgot to play the song. I got a guy who can fix this.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, hardy plank, and vinyl siding. But our number one product is always customer satisfaction. Visit us online at reliefwindows.com.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is taking $11,000 off the new 23 Dodge Charger. We're open for business in our beautiful new showroom and taking $11,000 off the powerful new Charger. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million-mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial properties. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family.
Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Tuesday's AFR, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. LSU baseball back at home against UNO, and we continue our SEC spring recaps looking at Tennessee. Join us 3 to 6,
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
So I watched the first episode of Fallout last night. I thought pretty damn fun, pretty damn good. Really cool universe. I never played the games, but I always knew the universe was cool. Jake talking about, we'll watch that. You won't watch The Gentleman. Jake, can I take you back? I was thinking about this over the weekend. I want to take you back a few years to when I was filling in on a show with you. And we talked about Ozark. Remember that? You remember that, don't you? Uh-huh. You're suddenly quiet all of a sudden. I wonder why that could be. It's almost
I remember Ozark. What was it?
It's almost as if you know where this is going.
What did I have to watch?
I believe at the time I had 2 seasons of Ozark I had to watch. Still on the time, guys. It's like damn near, 20 hours? What did I say? I said, all you got to do is watch the original trilogy of Star Wars. What is that, about 4 or 5 hours?
I've watched 2. Okay.
Who watched all of Ozark within a couple of weeks of that original agreement? I did. Who here now 4, 5, 6 years, however long later has it been?
Settle down. I moved here 6 years ago.
Not watched all the original trilogy Star Wars? You. So I was thinking about it this weekend, and like in life when you remember something you wish you would have said at the time, it's rare that you get to go back and say it. So yeah, you are not the foxhole man. And if I don't watch something now, it's only because I've been burned by the past.
Okay, that is completely fair. It was not 6 years ago. I've only been here 6 years. I've watched 2 of the 3. Did you finish Ozark?
Yeah.
What happened in the end?
I mean, Marty Bird's stressed. Wendy's doing something crazy. They barely escaped the cartel. I mean, it's every episode, right? Like, that's like one of the funniest lines out of that Ricky Stenicki movie was at one point one of the characters like, I feel like Jason Bateman in every episode of Ozark. And I was like, okay, yeah, I perfectly understand what you're getting at there. It's one of the most stressful main character shows I think I've ever seen in my entire life. To be fair, I don't really remember how Ozark ended, though. Like the specifics of the end.
You didn't watch it. You just watched the first 2 seasons.
No, I'm like 99. I mean, it ended up being really good. It's a good show.
It was a very good show.
It's a very good show.
One of the shows that the first episode might be the best episode, and it just sinks the claws just deep there. I mean, it hooks you.
What, Ozark?
Ozark, yeah. The first episode was fantastic.
It's like when they teach about creative writing, how you have a strong opening statement. And all
right, so I have one more to go. I've seen the original Star Wars,
New Hope,
and I've seen Empire Strikes Back.
Okay,
so I've got Return of the Jedi.
Okay, Return of the Jedi is it's good in many ways. It's very flawed in many ways, but
you're setting it up great.
I feel like you have to start over though because it's been so long since you've seen the first 2. That's me personally.
The best is Empire Strikes Back so far that I've seen.
Yeah, I mean, the best probably ever is. I mean, I would say the majority consensus opinion among Star Wars fans is that Empire is the height of the franchise. And it's an interesting movie because it is awesome and it is great, but it is also kind of a movie without a beginning or an end. Like, it almost cannot stand alone. It would not, like if you look at A New Hope, that actually has 3 acts, beginning, middle, end. Whereas, because, who knew they were going to get to make another one? Whereas Empire, you can really start to lean in. Okay, you have more time to tell this story, but it's just interesting. I don't know what it would be like as a standalone.
What would the movie be if someone's like, hey, T-Bob, give me one movie. I need to know your movie personality of any movie ever made, any genre. It would be this.
Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring. Yep. Full stop.
What's a good one? Taylor?
Ooh. I don't know.
Probably like Field
movie?
of Dreams or something.
No, like one that you feel like would give someone the exact knowledge of your movie takes and the ones that you...
The Natural.
Freaking nerd. Is that Robert Redford?
Yes.
Okay.
You have 3 seconds.
Probably a sports movie. I don't know. I'd think about it.
Good answer.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go run some stairs. Taylor.
Prestige would be mine.
Really?
Yeah. Just the way that movie's set up.
Interesting.
The twists, the turns, the reveal.
You and Danny. Little Nolan boys.
We are.
Accutemp Baton Rouge, AccutempBR.com. Go to Accutemp BR today if you want to take control of your comfort zone. Look, Accutemp, guys, has thousands of reviews on Google, and yet they have a 4.9 rating. Why is that, right? Because they prioritize the idea of service to the highest degree. It's not just a slogan, okay? It's written everywhere, all over their buildings. It's literally at the core of everything that they do. Who reaps the benefits of that focus? You. When it comes to your AC, heating, or electrical needs. If you want a whole home generator, keep you safe during the upcoming storm season. If it seems like it might get a little sketchy, Accutemp can do it for you. AccutempBR.com.
Power up your next project with John Deere Deals by Sunshine. Whether you're working hard or playing hard, our knowledgeable team will help you find the right product for you. Ask us about our amazing tractor package promotions. Learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Bayou Ford has $10,000 off F-150s, $10,000 off the new F-150 truck, plus 1.9% for 72 months. And all new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Yo, Jake here from my friends over at Community Steel Company located in Gonzales, Louisiana. The local place you can turn to for all of your metal building needs. Notice I said local, not Houston, not Dallas, not Atlanta, but right here in Gonzales. Visit them at their brand new state-of-the-art website at communitysteelco.com or pick up the phone and give them a call today to answer all of your questions on your metal buildings, roofing and sheet metal, and any other steel needs you or your business need at 225-647-2020.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
Good morning. It's 9 a.m. here on Tuesday, April 16th. Today in Baton Rouge, you can expect mostly sunny skies with a high of 87. In hour 3 of today's show, we'll be joined by Nick Underhill of New Orleans Football at 9 a.m. If you missed hours 1 or 2 of the show, you can catch them in the on-demand section at 1045ESPN.com. You can also follow us on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN and watch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel. Hour number 3 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios, starts now.
Let we go!
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah!
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, P, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
What's happening, y'all? What up, what up, what up? T-Bob, Jake, Alondra, and Taylor hanging out with you today. Got Nick Underhill from New Orleans football coming up right now to talk a little black and gold. We're just getting in touch with Nick right now as headline from New Orleans football on the landing page. Now, this just come from a few days ago, but prepare for the worst. And it's in reference to Ryan Ramczyk's health. It looks like for some reason the meeting thing didn't work, Taylor. It's all good, though. We got Nick on the phone. Nick!
Well, Taylor.
What's up, brother? What's going on, dude?
Hey, not much, man. Sorry. The computer's beat my ass today, so I can't figure it out. But
nah, I mean, it's Taylor's fault. I wouldn't worry about it.
Don't blame yourself. Blame Taylor.
Now, speaking of maybe not the best news, though, we've talked about it plenty here, but I'll just ask you for an update. What is the latest inside info on the Ryan Ramczyk injury front?
Yeah, I don't know if there's anything new. I just think that it's probably likely, as I look at it, I wrote something last week just kind of analyzing it, and you kind of look at it, and you look at how they did the contract, and they cut out all the money except for the guarantees. You couldn't get away from the guarantees, so that takes it down to $6.5 million, and there's no guarantees in future seasons. And then you start looking at it, and you say, if he were to spend the season, just say trying to rehab it, and then next year he retires as a post June 1st retirement, that would be extremely beneficial. They'd be able to spread it out. Then it'd kind of be hitting the cap 2 years from now. And given how they're set up right now and they're structured, that would make a lot of sense. If you were to retire right now, you don't really get, it's a huge hit. And then if you wait until after June 1st, it's like $1 million difference. And it just kind of feels like maybe there's an understanding that this probably isn't going to settle in a way that I just don't see him playing again. I just, if I had to bet today, you're asking me to go to draft and place a bet on it. I'm betting on him not playing. And it just kind of feels like maybe they're going to give it the year because it's beneficial for the team. It's beneficial for him. It doesn't really make a difference, if he's never going to play again. He gets a year to kind of, just make some money, and maybe if things work out, they work out. But it really feels like they're preparing for him not to come back. And if, I think that's kind of how you got to approach it. And then, let's say he does end up coming back, but they end up finding 2 tackle options, or they find a tackle option and Trevor Penning becomes functional or even good. Okay, you're early on it. So I just think that you have to kind of figure out a way forward without him. But for them to come out in, March, and, I'm looking at this now, it's been a few weeks, and you're kind of, you take a step back and you're like, why did this happen? Why did this happen? Why did this happen? If you're coming out in March and saying you're preparing for him to, not play, that's, really, really bad. It's not good. And, I just don't think that we're going to see him play football for the Saints again. It just feels like it's not in the cards. That's just kind of, and I'm just guessing at it, but kind of looking at everything that's happened, looking at how they've done other contracts when players were at the end of their career and they were doing things to kind of manipulate the cap. Some of the same fingerprints are on, different cases, and, you kind of see a little bit of a pattern there. And, I might be looking at this way too much through my third eye or whatever, but it just kind of feels like it's at the end of the line.
So, Nick, this almost guarantees, obviously, at 14, you take a tackle. But, I mean, if Ramczyk can't go and you can't maybe trust Trevor Penning, I mean, we could be looking at, obviously, more than just one tackle. How much does this change the plan for the Saints in the draft?
Yeah, I think if you can double dip, it's something you really got to look at. You can't bet on Penning. That's the biggest problem here. It's just too bad that there wasn't even glimmers of okay, it's 30% there. How do you get to the other 30% that you need to be functional or whatever? But that's not even there.
Isn't that worrying though, Nick? It's you can't bet on Penning, but you have to bet on 2 rookie tackles. That doesn't feel any better.
Right, because you've seen them miss. I mean, that's kind of the problem. Yeah. I think you kind of see how it goes, and then after the draft, you look at it like I think DJ Humphries is still out there, Pete's still out there, Becton's still out there, so you can kind of plug and play it a little bit. So like if you don't get the options that you want, like I think you have to hit that market and go about it that way. And I think you ideally not go after some of these guys or not get older, but it does come a point where you got to keep your quarterback safe, and I don't know that they can do that right now. I don't think you want to put James Hurst at one of those positions because I think he's just kind of limited if you're going to be such a heavy outside zone team at one of them tackle spots. So, yeah, I think that it does change their draft plan quite a bit because, I mean, I think now you have to be, like, wide open, the two of them. And, one of the things that I kind of hate about it is if you're sitting at 14 and there's a realistic scenario where Brock Bowers falls to there, and maybe he's not more valuable or better than one of the tackles, but I don't think you can even really have the discussion at this point. I think you're so pigeonholed into having to take one, and at least this is a good draft to be in that position. And like typically there's two guys, maybe three that you're willing to take in the top 15, and the third one's kind of a stretch. I think this year there's five, and I think all five of them are fine picks. So it's a good year to kind of have to do that, but just philosophically, like I hate it. And you kind of go back and you look through their drafts and you look at all the times they've missed in the first round. And a lot of the times it is because they've been backed into a corner and they've allowed a need to kind of get to the point where they had to do that. And years where there was some flexibility to kind of do some different things, like you draft Ramczyk, and that ends up being a good pick. But years where you're backed into a corner, like you trade up for Davenport because you have to have the pass rusher. You take Cesar Ruiz, who I think has been fine, but, at 24, I don't know. Pete was a year where they kind of had to. Sheldon Rankins was kind of a year where you kind of had to. And, like, that, those picks are all, like, okay, but are there other options? And I think those years they weren't able to kind of look at them. And there's just kind of a pattern there when you look at, like, some of the draft misses or just, like, the ones where you're like, you kind of foresaw what they were going to do and they had to do it. But, look, again, I think this is a great year to be in this position. Like, if you have to have a draft where you have to get an offensive tackle, they're in great shape, and they probably will have an option between a couple guys. So at least that works out. But yeah, I think at 45, it kind of puts you in the same thing. Like, if there's a tackle in range and it's palatable, I don't know that you can really have wandering eyes too much anywhere else. So I mean, it's definitely impactful on the overall strategy.
No, I mean, you feel like go and tackle 100% first. Let's play with an interesting hypothetical that y'all played with on New Orleans Football, which, by the way, y'all, if you love the Saints, you want to go sign up, and you can always follow Nick at Nick_Underhill on Twitter. But let's say Michael Penix Jr. is on the board at 45. What you doing? Or let's say best available. If he is for what I mean, that's kind of hard to ask like that because best available to who? But if Penix is there at 45, do you actually have to think about maybe taking a flyer there?
I think I would. I mean, I think you got to. I don't think he's going to be there at 45, but if he's at 45 and you like him, yeah, I think you absolutely got to take him. And it is part of like who else is available. Like there's scenarios where you kind of get there and the receivers are kind of gone. I don't. One of the things about the tackle at 45, like, kind of theoretically going through the exercises and stuff, like I don't necessarily like a lot of the fits there at 45 for what I think the scheme's going to be. Like Patrick Fall, like I don't think he kind of has the lateral movement to fit. He's a guy that'll probably be there. So I think you do kind of start looking at it, and then if you don't have the pass catcher there, like that is a spot. If the quarterback falls, like I think you kind of have to do it. It would be so fascinating to me to see if they actually would, because it feels like they're bought in on Carr big time, but I don't think taking a quarterback should even really be viewed that way. Like if you were going to take one and put him behind Drew Brees, Patrick Mahomes, what was it, pick 11 that year? Like, yeah, I don't think you can have feelings about it if you're somebody else. Like if they're willing to do this to Brees, and then the next year Brees is like chasing the MVP like in 18 until he got hurt in that Thursday night game. Like he was definitely in that mix. So I don't think you could take it any type of way. I think it's something that they should be trying to do. I think you got to kind of be looking more towards the long term. And I think they're kind of really at a place where it's very close to kind of entering that teetering point where you kind of got to consider like full rebuild if like something doesn't shake soon. And, that would be a great piece to get, try to develop them. I think one of the funny things is like you look at the quarterbacks that have been drafted since 2006. And I think Jay Kaner he might be the first guy, like if he makes it through the season, that has made it 2 years in the system. I don't know that they've even drafted a quarterback that's made it 2 years. Grayson didn't. Ian Book didn't. So like, yeah, he might be the first one like to stick on the roster for 2 years. So I don't know. It's kind of a fascinating, like 2 consecutive years. So some guys came back on the practice squad, but yeah, I mean, they haven't done a good job at getting talent in at that position, I guess is the point I'm trying to make. And I think they gotta take advantage of some opportunities if they present themselves.
So, Nick, we were talking about receiver yesterday, and if you're at 45 and you mentioned like there's maybe a receiver that you love or don't love, whatever the situation might be, maybe you don't select him there, but if they were, what kind of receiver, like what body type of a receiver are they looking for to add to this roster?
Like ideally, I think like a 6'2", 6'3" guy, someone like that is just, you can throw them open. They're good after the catch. They've been just like kind of miserable after the catch. And part of that's the offense too. I did a study not long ago, just kind of looking at it, and they were near the top of the league in YAC all the way up until 2016, and then they changed their offense, and we all saw how it kind of came more condensed and everything. So you just aren't necessarily throwing the ball to guys in like advantageous positions to catch them run. So I think like spreading it out a little bit more in the new system is something that'll just help on its own. But I think it's a mentality too, and I don't know that they have guys with the mentality. Like Olave catches the ball, and he's typically trying to protect himself a little bit, which given his body type, I think is smart. Shaheed is someone that's good with the ball in his hands, but he's also he needs a little bit more space, I think, for that to become effective. Like a bigger, stronger guy that can like maybe catch the ball, break a tackle, and then get into space. Like I think that's something that could be really helpful to this team. But they absolutely need someone that just down in the red zone that can. You can throw it up to. I hate to say it that way, but like you need it, and just someone third and short going over the middle where you can put the ball on the outside shoulder if someone's on the inside shoulder, and you can make that play even though the window's a foot. Like someone that has that ability to just kind of be thrown open. They don't have that right now, and I think it's kind of like urgently needed, and it's kind of overshadowed just because like the lack of tackles, but it's close to me in my mind, like as far as needing that guy, because I don't see him anywhere on the roster. And when you're talking about a need and like Jimmy Graham's kind of popping into your head a little bit, like things are bad. Like if that feels like, man, too bad he's not on the team. So like they definitely need somebody in that role, whether it's a receiver or a tight end that can consistently do that.
Nick Underhill, New Orleans Up Football is the site. Go sub to him on YouTube. Go sub to the site if you want to stay up to date with all Lady Saints news. Hey, what's the NOF team doing for the Pelicans playing tonight?
I have no plans. I'll be watching it from the house, just trying to stay awake. And staying up past 9 is a struggle these days. So just trying to make it through the whole game. That's if I make it all 4 quarters, it's a good day.
Hey,
that's real
Nick,
right there.
I'm going to need a little less soft-ass energy out of you, and I'm going to need a little sharpening, okay, a little edge, because tonight the Pelicans square up with the softest superstar we've ever seen in the NBA, in the softest-ass city in the United States of America, and it is time to kick the Los Angeles Lakers' ass, okay? Beat them up! Knuckles in the teeth. Teeth in the knuckles.
I'm not even being funny here, but would he end up on the injury report with, like, I did see something yesterday. I was like, you got to be kidding me.
No, he left the game on Sunday. So he's definitely on the injury report. He's never not. He set out a game recently for nausea.
Maybe that was like I thought I saw something like about like a headache or something. Like I don't know if it was a joke or like what, but yeah. All right.
He is a joke. So there you go. Now you're getting it in. Yes, good job. Proud of you. New Orleans Football, Nick Underhill. Thank you, man.
All right, man. Take it easy.
Take it easy, brother. All right, when we get back, more OTB. How about that?
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Listen up. If you live in Livingston or Ascension Parish, you are lucky because you get to choose who gets to take out your Taylor. Oh, my bad. Freudian slip. Your trash, okay? Your waste management company. You probably see the red cans and red trucks popping up all over town if you live in Livingston or Ascension. Well, go to trashsignup.com, see what they can offer you, and see if you want to make the switch also. You do. But check it out, guys. If you don't live in the areas I'm talking about, we can still help you, Trash Rangers. You need commercial dumpsters for your business. You need roll-off dumpsters available in any size for any project. Put Trash Rangers to work for you. Go to trashsignup.com and sign up for a trash company owned and operated by locals for locals.
Yeah, you can also take this number down, 225-401-0838. We tell you every single day, reliable weekly service, no hidden fees, and weekly text reminders. You can find all that information as well at trashrangersllc.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Power up your next project with John Deere Deals by Sunshine. Whether you're working hard or playing hard, our knowledgeable team will help you find the right product for you. Ask us about our amazing tractor package promotions. Learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years.
Charles Hannegriff, join us for the Tuesday edition of Live at Lunch from Mike Anderson Seafood, Wesley at Nicholson. We're getting you ready for the NBA play-in between the Pels and Lakers, and Andy Isco joins us from Las Vegas. Live at Lunch, 11 a.m. Tuesday on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Jake, I'll wear that, okay? Yeah, I hate Texas and I hate California. What of it? Haven't you seen the new documentary Civil
California.
War? I mean, they literally team up to ruin our beautiful country.
What'd you say about California?
I said I can get behind hating California.
None of y'all have lived there. Why do you hate it?
I don't need to live somewhere to hate it. What do you mean?
They got some pretty places, but
not everything in California is Los Angeles.
I'm gonna do a great little logical fallacy, straw man argument, whatever you want to call it. I don't have to know a Nazi to hate a Nazi.
Yeah.
Right? That's how I feel about California. I got enough family in California and see just how that affects their mental health to know I don't like California. And then I got Alondra back here, all somber and sad because she misses Texas.
Yeah.
Hell up out of here.
Well, all your family does live in the part that I'm talking about, though. Not all of California is Los Angeles.
If you're white, you're Ben Affleck. Okay? If you're from California, you're Los Angelinian. I don't know what else to tell you, dog.
Like
you can go to Newport or
Newport certainly doesn't talk like that. Newport is not what you're thinking it is.
My point is I don't think about Newport because it's all California, and just like Texas, it's all trash.
San Diego's not like you're thinking. San Diego's got literally like 3 major military bases right there. Everybody that moves there,
it's like
has a lot of
Washington
grit.
D.C. It's not actually a part of California. It's like an independent. What is D.C. technically? A district or something?
District
Whatever.
District of Columbia.
Yeah, I know, but like, what is its like?
Virginia, Maryland.
What is its term? Like you have
Commonwealth?
states. Yes, the Commonwealth. Yes, San Diego's a Commonwealth. Wouldn't expect you to know this. But me being a U.S. history expert, I do know these things.
It's fair.
You're a U.S. history expert?
Yes. Yes, so San Diego. You've never heard of the SS San Diego from the Revolutionary War?
Not a geography expert, though. We learned that on Friday.
I never claimed to be, have I, Taylor?
Yeah, but I'm still like mind blown about the Canada thing.
Well, it's not true. So
Well, no.
He gave you
Minneapolis
false
is
information.
north of Toronto, which is still crazy.
Yeah, that is
thank you.
crazy.
And it's still crazy that whatever city we said is east of Atlanta.
Ottawa?
Yeah, something like that. I don't know. It doesn't matter.
No, you said that Atlanta was west of Detroit.
Yeah, something like that, which is crazy. That's crazy to me.
Right? Isn't that what you said?
Something else I said yesterday is that I would cut my nuts off if LSU
I'm
baseball
really
came in
upset I
last
missed
place.
this.
And I've got something to say to the haters, okay? Which, according to Tiger Droppings, it would appear that there are many. As Bird posted, he said, T-Bob said he would cut his genitals off if we came in last place in baseball in the SEC. He said that on radio this morning, the way this season has gone so far, and for T-Bob to go through with that, the meme says, sort of want. Somebody responds with, get the scissors ready. See, this is how sick in the head and despicable you Nega-Tigers are. You literally want LSU to lose just so you have to watch me slice my own genitals off live on air. Do you know how disturbed you have to be to want such a thing? Not only are you rooting for the team that you purport to love, you're rooting for them to fail, but you're also rooting for me to have to do that, potentially imperil my life live on air. You're sick. You're sick. Darbon must not be too much a fan. He says needs to do it with a dull knife. Hi Karate says can't cut off what he probably doesn't have. Hey, hi. Come meet me in the Heinz bathroom and you can figure it out for yourself. Probably. 2-8 says if he was already planning on transitioning to female, does it really count?
Were you planning on doing that? You didn't tell us about these plans.
I don't speak of these plans publicly. What I'm planning for my own life is mine and mine alone. Also 12 votes on that. Okay, guys, that's not that funny. BZ504 with probably the single dumbest thing I've read on the internet in the last month, which is saying something, says he would come on the radio and say, guys, I didn't mean it and wouldn't own it. Hello? Are you legitimately stupid? Like, duh. You think I'm actually going to cut my nuts off if they come? Are you dumb, BZ504? You moron. Did you fall on your head? Did your parents feed you lead chips? Like, what are you talking? He probably won't even own it. God, you're stupid. In the know? Yes?
We've all eaten lead.
Yeah, I mean, look.
It's in everything.
I'm not saying that I'm smart, but I'm saying that, yes, of course I'm not going to cut my nuts off if they get in last place. In the know says, wouldn't it make much of a difference with that beta? Seems to be a theme. Tiger's manager, not sure he has any. Bayou, he's a wuss, what's to cut off? Willie Sugar, I like this one. Low T-Bob, which has been used before. I like Nitwit here. T-Bob had this procedure on 1/9/12. That's actually pretty damn good. And then Fat Mike Eats It made me laugh. Hope he don't cut off them titties. You're my guy, Fat Mike.
Hey, what did you do to these people?
You know what I feel like? I feel like Jay and Silent Bob Strikes Back when at the end of the movie they use all the money they got off of the movie just to hunt down people on message boards and be like, "Are you poop shoot 420?"
They had like negative comments.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like beat him up. Like, I wish all you out there call me soft. Tell me to my face.
Right.
When you see me in public, tell me to my face, and let's just talk about it. Let's just see it. Let's just see it.
T-Bob, I am reading. He's a liberal. I'm currently reading this thread. Someone 2 minutes ago made a post.
God.
T-Bob on the radio crawfishing his ass off. He's the one that made the stupid
Oh my
statement.
gosh, why
now
would
he wants
anybody
to make fun of those clowning him. What an idiot.
Oh my God, dude. I mean, again, crawfishing on a genital slicing post. You know what? Hey, I stand by it, dude. I'm gonna do it.
If anybody took that seriously,
if they get last,
that's on
if they
them.
get last, I'm gonna do it. You're right. No, now
You
I'm
have
being
to follow
serious.
through.
Now I have.
I mean,
to
you
follow
have to.
through because TD. I thought some of those were pretty great though. Just no Nega Tigers. You're kind. You're a bit like cockroaches. You can never be fully killed. Not even the impending nuclear war that looks like an increasing reality every single day will eliminate you. But just know,
I wonder which one of these.
I'm always ready to throw down with you.
I wonder which one of these comments is Taylor's burner account.
Probably the one about the titties. Probably Nitwit.
Oh, there's no doubt that Taylor made a comment.
Yeah.
There's
I swear I didn't.
doubt about it that he's one of those comments.
Are you Nitwit? Are you the one talking about 1/9/2012 when I originally had that procedure, Taylor?
No, but I'm scrolling up to read it right now. That's poor. I would never make that joke. It was a bad day for all of us.
God, a lot of bad money spent from Tiger fans that day, dude.
Yes, there was.
God, you suck.
Son of a...
Ain't on me. I didn't play, bro.
That's true.
Ain't on me.
That's fair.
You can't blame me. If you want to blame somebody, probably blame Nick Saban, honestly. You know, more than anybody.
I mean,
Like-
BCS as well. Like, they should have not been in that game.
Yeah, there's a lot of blame to go around, but mainly it's Nick Saban for being, whatever he was in games where he has X amount of days to prepare for it. But yeah, all you little TD bish boys, you see me out in public, come at me with that same energy, dog, and let's have a beer and talk about it. Or meet me in, was it Heinz?
For the exams?
No, the glory hole bathroom.
Oh, wow.
I know nothing about this.
Coach, right?
Coach.
This
It was
Coach.
Coach. Yes.
What?
Whoa.
Yeah.
That was quick.
We talked about this on this show before.
Yeah, we've talked about this like
Not when I
100
was here.
times.
Yeah, a few times. Yeah,
I definitely wasn't here for
Yeah,
that.
back when I was in college, there were a bunch of Reveille articles about how there was a bit of a glory hole epidemic. In
Pandemic,
Coach.
huh?
Also,
Not pandemic.
I didn't
but-
go there, and that's one of the only halls I know because of that legend. So
Wow.
You had to know like a certain rhythm to tap with your foot.
I mean, Taylor's like, it was room 602. Never been there before, but I heard it was room
Yeah.
602.
third stall.
yeah, exactly. Third
But I've
stall.
never been there
This is
before.
all
Kind of
secondhand.
best times,
This is
like
all
noon to
secondhand
2.
accounts, guys.
Yeah, feels
Noon
like
to
it.
2, you'll generally have somebody.
Okay.
He
Right
likes
on
if
you.
you call him daddy. Taylor knows all the deets.
Look at that.
Receive good info.
Look at that. My wife actually liked my joke about did your parents feed you lead chips? I didn't think it was that good, but thanks, babe. It's cool. Thanks for gassing me up.
Good job, T-Bob.
So yeah, I'm doubling down. Tiger droppings. I'm going to cut my generals off, Phil. She basically gets
Dang.
last. But guess what?
Like last in the SEC?
They're not going to. Last in the SEC.
Okay.
But they're not going to. We talked about it today. This is not 2020 where you were 2020 football where you were an abject disaster. Now you guys spending 500. You finished okay that year. And I think you'll probably finish closer to, you'll finish under 500 here, but you'll be about a little over 500 the rest of the way here on out.
Was she here for the first one? Because he actually made 2 of these bets. I don't know if the first one was while you were gone or not.
Well, the first one is basically a mathematical impossibility.
I agree.
What's the first one?
If the Florida Gators win the SEC in football, he has to do it as well.
Yeah.
Which
so how are you going to do it twice?
Well, I got 2 nuts.
Yeah, I guess so. But I thought you were cutting both off at the same time.
No, I mean, to be fair, you would. No,
right, you can't just have one.
No, but that's because Florida ain't winning, right?
Yeah.
This one's got a little bit of juice to it.
No, I get it, but I'm just saying, like, you're all too comfortable putting them on the line, if you will.
Well, because I'm trying to reinforce. I'm trying to yeah, they've already been snipped, to be fair, which a lot of the thread did mention also. Yeah, no, look, it's because I'm trying to project confidence in this baseball team.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, like they are not great by any means. They're probably just okay, but they're better than what their record says they are. And I think they're going to start to prove it. And maybe it's young guys that end up leading the charge. I mean, at this point, why not? If a young guy's hot, let him play. See what he can do and start. And then not only do you get the dual benefit of maybe better play immediately in the short term, but you get the dual benefit of laying the track for the future, where next year you will be one of the teams that is laden with upperclassmen and whatnot. And again, as you're working in an entirely new lineup and field positions and a lot of new members of that staff, or at least a new coach with that pitching staff, continued time on task against relatively easier improvements can't help but lead opponents. Can't help but lead to improvement. So I am feeling bullish.
Yeah.
About this team.
Double down.
Yep. Double down.
All right. Can that be the last segment that we talk about your nuts until it actually happens?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Sorry, I just had to address the Nega Tigers in the room because they know no depths that they will not plumb in an effort to satiate their sickening carnal desires. You want to see LSU fail. I know you do. And you are a pox upon this fan base. And, well, whatever, you suck. All right, when we get back, let's get into, we can maybe talk a little more Pelicans. Where do you want to go? We got a few different directions we can go.
Go South calling you. I said, guys, he hasn't even gotten a simple haircut from his snaps, but you think he's going to cut his nuts off?
No. He's going to do it.
Relax.
Well, did you say May
it's coming the week of May 11. That week, that's going to happen, and I hate it with the passion of a burning thousand suns. In many ways, look, your nuts don't face the public.
Yeah.
Right? I would almost rather cut my nuts off than get the fade. But
Alex's going to get some.
Just call me Tim T-Bob because I'm probably going to have a hard part again, which I'm not looking forward to. Speaking of, he has some experience in this, doesn't he, Tim? Maybe he can help me out a bit.
In what?
Who?
In cutting phalluses. Didn't he used to do that on mission trips back in the day?
Who are we talking about?
Tim Tebow. Castrating underprivileged children
was
in other
that what
countries.
He was doing?
Yeah, right. I'm not making this up, right?
I have no idea.
Y'all don't remember this? Yeah, Tim Tebow helping on mission trips castrate kids.
You clearly heard a story that nobody else did.
I'm pretty sure I didn't just make this up.
I'm not saying you made it up. I'm saying we do not know this information.
Jake, nothing from you?
I had no idea what you're talking about.
Well, looks like we're going to have to. Ooh, boy, it's going to be awkward.
On Google,
I've said that happened for years.
What?
Yeah.
Like, you're being serious right now?
Yes, 100%. That Tim T, I thought we were in college. He went, I thought he went and on a mission trip to help the castrate kids.
Why would he castrate kids?
Or not castrate, sorry, cut the circumcised.
That's what I was going to say. I don't know about any of this, but are you sure you don't mean circumcised?
God, I've been circumcised this entire time. I've been saying castrate.
I'm like, and you're saying this with such confidence. I'm like, this would be a big story if he's going and castrating kids. What are we talking about here?
Oh my God, dude. Okay.
I think he'd be in jail.
Yes. Okay.
That wouldn't be a story just floating around.
Words matter. And yes, I'm circumcised.
Just trust me, bro.
My bad.
Big difference between the two.
Yes. But he did do the circumcision thing. That is confirmed. Okay, that is confirmed. That was what I was getting at. Wow. Yeah, I was really freaking out there for a second. I was like, what are they talking about? Like, I thought we all knew this story.
When you said you've been saying this for years.
No, I've been saying circumcised. I've not been saying Catholic.
I don't know if you have.
This is just today. I made that mistake.
My God, I'm like, well, how did I miss this story?
My bad.
Tim gets arrested. T-Bob has to go in as like a
People
character
act like
witness.
this is normal?
All right, when we get back, more OTB. Keep it locked.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
I mean, that is funny, though. Somebody needs to put into an AI image generator Tim Tebow castrating kids. And let's just really give this rumor some legs. Go to Community Steel Company, Community Steel
We'll have
Co.
legs. Won't have something else.
CommunitySteelCo.com. You need steel. You want Community Steel. And the reason is, well, there are many. First off, I love the fact that they're local. It means there's a live and local sales team that you can form relationships that gets to know you and your business needs, your personal needs, whatever the case may be, and better seek to serve you. And also because they buy the steel straight from the wholesaler and they manufacture everything for themselves right there on site, you get a better price. No middleman jacking up the price of the consumer on the back end. So any steel needs, any purlin, tubing, sheet metal, steel buildings, accessories, anything, it's all there in Gonzales, Louisiana for you at CommunitySteelCo.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the gymsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the gymsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
Yo, Jake here from my friends over at Community Steel Company located in Gonzales, Louisiana. The local place you can turn to for all of your metal building needs. Notice I said local, not Houston, not Dallas, not Atlanta, but right here in Gonzales. Visit them at their brand new state-of-the-art website at communitysteelco.com or pick up the phone and give them a call today to answer all of your questions on your metal buildings, roofing and sheet metal, and any other steel needs you or your business need at 225-647-2020.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps are held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, party plank, and vinyl siding. But our #1 product is always customer satisfaction. Visit us online at reliefwindows.com. Oh, by the way, we do shutters too.
Power up your next project with John Deere Deals by Sunshine. Whether you're working hard or playing hard, our knowledgeable team will help you find the right product for you. Ask us about our amazing tractor package promotions. Learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Join me for a Tuesday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show presented by Pluckers, getting you ready for LSU and UNO from the box with Glenn West and Sharif Ishak on the Saints and Pels as they get ready for LA. Hunt Palmer Show 1 to 3 weekdays, 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Entire music today just sounds like Crazy Taxi. Did y'all ever play Crazy Taxi?
A little bit.
The Sega Dreamcast, maybe in arcades. Yeah. Big ska energy out of Crazy Taxi. Get rid of the Big Sky and the Big Ska Conference. And every band is required to just play ska music the entire time. Help take college sports into the new era here, Jake. I got ideas. Somebody just needs to start listening to them.
You've got a lot of them, yeah. A lot of ideas, including what some former Heisman Trophy quarterbacks do with their spare time.
Well, yeah, that's on me. That's on me, guys. Again, take a lap. Words matter. Taylor, do you care at all about men's basketball getting Tyrell Ward and Jalen Reed back? Tyrell Ward?
I mean, I think it's big because there was a rumor that Tyrell Ward might leave and enter the portal, and you're in the day and age of college sports where you have to announce if you're returning to the school you're currently at.
Hell yeah.
No, they're building a nice squad. I mean, he's got Ward and Reed back. He's brought in 2 or 3 nice guards to go along with Mike Williams. Corey Chest was a highly recruited guy who redshirted this year. So you add one post player.
I have some more spring game thoughts from rewatching some of that film, Jake. Again, crowned as the one, taking deep shots, taking advantage of some blown coverages from the defense. Again, I think I'm very disappointed in the amount of big plays that we saw given up by the defense, the busted coverage. Again, the one that kind of upsets me the most is still that Caleb Jackson touchdown run. The safeties run fits were pretty inexcusable. And, you know, Jake, it was impossible for me not to have a moment as I'm rewatching of just thinking, like, it's still, like, I know now we're used to it, but, like, it's still actually crazy to see how low this defense has sunk, and this D-line specifically. I mean, in my lifetime, this is the biggest group of badasses on the team every single year I was at LSU.
I mean, I would kind of back that up for me, too.
Dogs.
Like, just during my time, you had Claude Roten, Kyle Williams, Glenn Dorsey, Ricky Jean-Francois, Melvin Oliver. I'm probably forgetting somebody, like, really,
you go back right before that, you got Lavallee in the mix.
Yeah.
You keep going. I mean, of course, I Glenn and Ricky Jean crossover, right? But then you need guys like Michael Brockers, Benny Logan, Drake Nevis, and then even going after that. It's just, yeah, it's crazy, man. It's crazy how far it's kind of fallen. So that has to be goal number one. I thought that the Harold Perkins TFL and the Aaron Anderson swing pass was fantastic. That is the type of play where it becomes exciting thinking about him in that middle linebacker role in kind of base coverage situations. He can make plays that otherwise should not be made. His speed was back on display there. Again, I'm really excited to see him when Blake Baker's game planning and trying to manipulate matchups for him. I thought DJ Chester looked really composed out there physically.
That's good.
Now, he's not asked to do a lot mentally because it's a spring game,
right?
But physically has an excellent base and an just really top-tier balance to him. Does not play over his toes. Really just, again, composed is a word that I kept coming back to. Seems to play within himself very well. And then with Chris Hilton, I think he's right on the edge. You know? He's right on the edge. He had one drop that I didn't love. He had what should have been during the offensive script, a touchdown in the back of the end zone, but he just toe taps a little bit out of bounds, right? Like he's doing everything to get up to the big play catch point. I just need to see him by fall time be ready to follow through more consistently.
And like we talked about yesterday, like it doesn't even have to be like this one player if it's this one thing that you need. but we're thinking probably 3 or 4 guys to fill those roles, whatever it might be. And it might be a different guy every game. I don't know that you're going to have receiver 1, receiver 2, receiver 3, receiver 4. I don't know that it's going to be defined like that. I think you have a receiver 1 right now in Kyron Lacey, and then everybody else after that. It might change from game to game.
Yeah.
Now, again, I'm not even saying that as a negative thing. Like, you can have successful teams that is the case. But it just needs to make sure, hey, we got a guy for this role that can step in and do these things. Like we talked about yesterday with Hilton being that old Benny Brazil from 2005 guy who it's only 300-400 yards receiving, but when he made a play, it was a big play and a game-changing play.
God, see, but that's the thing, right? I think he's on the edge of being able to do more and maybe be that number 2, but he's going to need to show a bit more consistency. Though Jared Brown had a couple nice plays of coverage, shown Washington flash a couple times. Gabriel Relaford flashed against that second offensive line. So, okay, spring overall. I still got LSU slotted at around 15 going into next year, and they're going to have to prove it to me that they can be better than that. All right, when we get back, let's do a little Ask the Bench here on OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
K2ZBlinds.com, KTOZBlinds.com. Go to K2Z window coverings. You want window coverings that wow? You want K2Z? Have them out to your home. Let Brandon Barton go around, take advantage of his decades worth of experience, and look at exactly how light interacts with your home at all different times of the day, and then put together a plan for you to increase your home in both aesthetics and utility. Okay, aesthetics and functionality. If it's an outdoor living space, man cave, theater room, oh, congratulations. Bedroom, baby room, whatever, okay? It's all there for you at K2Z.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter. Like, we're not just talking about like a normal window, any kind of window, any kind of thing that needs to be covered. Like, I have a unique kind of window in my new office, and he's like, oh yeah, we got a thing for that. We got a motorized, we got whatever you need for that, because they can customize it to your home, and whatever your needs are, they'll be met. K2ZBlinds.com, K2ZBlinds.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Power up your next project with John Deere Deals by Sunshine. Whether you're working hard or playing hard, our knowledgeable team will help you find the right product for you. Ask us about our amazing tractor package promotions. Learn more about what it means to be powered by Sunshine at sunequip.com.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, it's Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Tuesday's AFR, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. LSU baseball back at home against UNO, and we continue our SEC spring recaps looking at Tennessee. Join us 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Spend it all. Welcome back, OTB. See Tim on the beach doing work. Ask the Bench, brought about Cold Curse Light, Viziard Seltzer, and Blue Moon Light Sky Citrus Sweet. Ask the Bench, what is something that Jake is willing to chop his genitals off for?
Nothing. Mine are...
Come on, dude. Join me in my Florida bet.
Mine are valuable.
Join me in my Florida bet, bro. If Florida wins the SEC in football, we'll chop them off together.
I tell you all this all the time. Look, I am not the GM of my family. I'm just the head coach.
Bro, Florida ain't winning the SEC.
I know that.
Oh, okay, so you a little scared boy. You a little scared of Florida.
No, I'd rather have
how the mighty have
I'd rather
fallen,
have the
dude.
option of if I want to add a player can be added.
That's fine. Florida ain't
you have nothing on the line.
Florida ain't threatening, dog. No, I said genitals. I got everything on the line.
No, because they're just there now.
No, because like everything. I'm saying. Ask the Bench, which is more impressive? Tim Tebow castrating half the males in the African subcontinent, or T-Bob attempting self-castration when LSU finishes last?
Oh, no. It's not going to be self. We're going to get a goat expert in here.
Get my Uncle Benji in here.
Yeah. Uncle Benji still with us?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he's coming in.
Oh, yeah. Ask the Bench. If the reason for the number 9 ranking was the deep baseball, talking about our show, deep baseball run last season, how terrified are you of the dearth of content once the baseball season ends May 18th against Ole Miss? Nookie, that's a little too, you're being a little bit of a PUSS, okay? You need to stop being so sad, okay? The season ain't ending against Ole Miss May 18th. And also, I ain't worried about dearth of content, bruh.
No, I feel like that's a sweet spot for us.
Ask the Bench, what's more surprising, Gators having 48,000 fans at their spring game or Miami only having 1K? Easily the Gators having 48K. That blew my mind when I saw that. They don't even show up for normal games. Why did so many people go to a spring game in a year that is doomed? Is DJ Lagway the single biggest threat to my nuts out there?
Might be.
Ask the Bench, do you like Eggs
Tim
Benedict? Yeah. Do you like Eggs Benedict?
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
One of my favorite breakfasts.
I never like think about ordering it, but like if you're at like a buffet and they have it, I'll slap one on there.
Yeah,
You don't order it at like brunch places or anything like that.
I never really think about ordering
a lot
it.
of times.
Ask the Bench, I'm going to Orlando this summer. Should I take my 2 boys, 8 and 10, to Universal Studios or Islands of Adventure? Which is better?
Get the park hopper.
You got to get a park hopper.
Yeah.
You got to do both, dude.
Yep. Yeah.
Just bite the bullet and do both. You got her. It's going to be so much fun.
But I prefer Islands of Adventure.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, probably. It's got more fun, like roller coastery rides if push comes to shove.
The scenery's better too.
And it has like all the Avengers stuff there if he's into that.
Yeah. Ask the Bench, T-Bob, how are the Hasselback potatoes? I didn't end up getting to make them. I can't remember what got in the way, but I'm trying to make the Hasselback potatoes this week, hopefully before Chef comes on. In fact, maybe you've just re-inspired me to do it again today.
I bet you get it done.
Real rich from a guy that ain't seen Jedi. Speaking of not following through.
Yeah. I mean, the whole room's watched The Gentleman, not you.
I saw Fallout is pretty good the first episode.
Some gentleman you are.
That's not even a good joke.
It's the name of the show, and you're not a gentleman.
Well, no argument there. See you tomorrow.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Pinnacle Exterior Construction. PECbuilt.com. Pinnacle Exterior Construction. You need any exterior construction. Outdoor kitchens, fences, bulkheads, living space. Like, they do it all. What about pools, though? Okay. Pool season right around the corner. In fact, if you listen to the show, you'll know that in my infinite grace and wisdom, I deemed pool season officially underway. Okay. So if you want to hop on board in just 2 weeks, Pinnacle can build you a pool. You take a spec pool, you choose from a bunch of different templates, choose about the detail work. And again, in just 2 weeks, you have the pool of your dreams thanks to PEC. PECbuilt.com.
And when you hear spec pool, we're not talking about one option, two options, not even three options. We are talking about multiple options, and they can go through them with you. You are going to have something that looks custom, and it's going to be done in 2 weeks' time. That is not lip service. That is fact. PECbuilt.com.